We are started.
Okay. Welcome everyone. And last we, saw our, and I'm still gonna do this, question mark heroes. They had just come back from completing their first mission in Latest, to find some missing fishermen and see what was going on with that. You guys discovered a group of clutch of kobold that were living in a cave, and at the end of the cave, you guys found an obelisk with a gem in it that seemed to house some elemental. It was kind of water and ice, kind of hard to get a real good read on it, and it was also raising the dead. During the fight, you guys had to deal with some basically mashups of some kobolds and humans, and they kind of came at you guys. You guys quickly dispatched them and took care of the elemental. Upon defeating it, you guys were told that it was going to keep rising and coming after you. So you guys decided to try to deal with the gem, and the gem ended up being absorbed into sin. And after that, you guys took the two kids that you guys found in the cave, to young villagers from Latest, back to Latest. You guys hoofed it as quickly as possible to make it to Latest that same day. You guys arrived in the evening time, pretty late. You guys talked to Guard Captain Welton, where you guys turned in your report for the quest. You guys received compensation for a job well done, and you guys headed back to the Squawking Box. So hard to say. Why did I name it that? Squawking Box in Latest, the local inn, where you guys, took the time to relax. A few of you guys decided to venture up to the third floor and had yourself some interesting evenings, let's call it. And that's where we ended last session. I'm gonna go through. Yeah, let's start with the third floor people first. Moose.
Yes.
You wake up. It's pretty late in the morning. The sun's already rising by the time you start freaking open up your eyes. You can see the sun beaming in, and it's definitely not early by any means. And you wake up, and you feel a scaly arm wrapped around your waist.
Cozy.
Yeah, you are pretty cozy. You are in a bed that is half beanbag, half super bed, and you are really comfy, very rested, and you feel really awesome. You had somewhat of a high and low night last night. There was ups and downs. You spent a wonderful evening with Teriak, and you feel his arm still wrapped around you.
All right.
What do you do?
I try to gently get the arm off without waking him. This beautiful creature right here.
Yeah, as soon as you go to move the arm, he starts stirring, and he opens up his eyes and looks at you. He's like, "Hi."
It's like, hey, last night was pretty fun.
I had fun too.
And I don't really say that about many people.
Yeah, he actually moves his arm and he starts stretching. He lets out a big, very goofy looking yawn, and he starts rubbing his eyes, and he kind of rolls over and gets off the bed. He's still wearing the same basic silk looking thong that you saw him wearing in the hallway and through the night.
He looks so comfortable in that.
He actually walks over, and one thing you didn't notice is, he has a chair over in the corner, and on it is a very big, poofy, silk-looking robe. It has the fur around the collar and the wristband parts. And he just walks over and puts it on, and ties it around his waist. He's like, "I did have a lot of fun last night. I'm actually happy you came by. You really seemed like you needed that."
I was pretty skeptical at first, but you seem to really change my mind.
Well, I'm glad I could.
Repeat. Repeat that.
Said I'm glad I could.
Yeah, maybe we should do it again sometime.
Of course, you can come by anytime. We will be closed up today. Lady Catmara does need us to get ready for tomorrow's festival.
A festival?
Yes, it's the Latesse Summer Festival tomorrow. I'm sure you saw them setting up outside on your way in last night.
Yeah, she remembers that night. She nods. And Nylan says, I better get going. It was nice knowing you, Tyriak.
Oh, it was a pleasure. And like he helps you gather your things and stuff like that. You are almost naked.
Oh crap. I was.
Yeah, remember you had the bath and stuff like that. So you were dressed down. I'm sure you were probably just in your shirt.
All right, I'll put on the rest before I head out.
Okay. And he leads you to the door. We're gonna pause right on you. Corin.
Yeah.
You wake up and you are you start stirring awake, and it's again it's not super early. The sun's beaming in, and the beam kind of hits your head as you're rustling awake. And as you stir, you realize that the tiny little bed that you fell asleep on is now full size again.
Okay.
And laying next to you is Yulon. She's already awake, and she's humming a tune, just very gentle. And the humming wasn't what woke you up. It's that perfect tone and loudness to where you wake up to it. It doesn't wake you up. You just wake up, and it like slowly comes into consciousness, like that the humming's going on. And it's a simple little, like soft, slow tune that's very reminiscent of a Fey tune.
He'll try to hum along for a bit as he wakes up.
Okay. And once she sees you stir, she's like, "Oh, good morning.
Hi.
I hope you slept well."
As a rock.
I'm glad.
It was a really nice evening.
Well, that's what we like to provide here at the Squawking Box. And when you look over, you notice that she's already actually fully dressed. She was just kind of laying on the bed, like humming and looking at you.
So, do you think we could, I don't know, meet again?
Of course. It won't be tonight though. We will be closed down for this evening. But maybe after the festival.
Sure. Also, I mean, maybe not when you're at work. Also, like, just talk a bit outside of work.
Ooh.
Oh, well, you might see me around the Squawking Box. I mean,
Sure.
I do live here. And she kind of giggles as she like gets out of bed, and she goes over and starts like putting herself together a little bit more.
Yep. I'll come over and say hi if I see you.
I would like that. And she walks over to the same thing as you're, like getting up and gathering your things, where she had that Fey wine. She's like, "Here, you seemed to enjoy this last night, so I thought it'd only be nice to send you on your way with some." And she tosses something at you. I need you to make a dex check, just a straight dex check.
Okay.
Okay. You catch it, and it is when you catch it, you look at it, and it's a water skin already your size.
Okay.
Are you gonna look at it?
I'll open it and smell what's in there.
There is the Fey wine in it.
Thank you so much. I really missed this, actually.
I could tell you did last night. You actually fell asleep cradling the cup that I gave you last night.
Oh, that's kind of embarrassing, but yeah,
She smiles and blushes a little bit. She's like, "No, it's okay. I'm glad I could, make you happy."
Thank
He nods.
If there's ever anything you need or something, I could, I don't know, try to get you something. I'll probably be getting around a lot soon.
She walks over and she says, "That's very kind of you, little one." And she, takes 2 fingers. And remember, she's a gnome, so it's not as big of a height difference as you're used to. Her hand is still relatively small compared to most people, and she kind of like rustles your hair a little bit as she says, "Thank you."
Okay, so I don't want to leave my friends hanging.
Not a problem. And she walks you towards the door.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll pause on you. Conrad.
Yay!
I know, Conrad is dreading this part. I know it. He's like, damn it.
Damon?
Yeah?
So, I'm just going to rest for us. Can we move for my session, like to a different voice channel box?
I mean, yes, I guess we could.
Yeah.
Moose is gonna have to follow though.
No,
Okay.
I will take the headphones off. I like people's privacy.
Okay. Yeah.
To the sidebar. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead.
Okay, real quick. What exactly? All right, because it's kind of. I mean, are you doing anything secretively?
Kinda, yeah. Because I'm gonna be Conrad's past a little bit here. I'm not gonna, but I don't want everyone else to know yet.
Okay, it's a little unfair, but we'll see. Okay, you start stirring. You're where you're at. The sun does not hit your face. That's not what wakes you up. You start stirring, and you feel a very large hand pressing like the bottom part of your waist and your bare ass, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what stirs you awake.
So Conrad would just kind of stir awake and kind of look up, I guess.
Yeah. As you look up, you look up and you see the face of Pain. You realize that your head is basically in her lap.
Okay.
And with the night that you had, you'd expect that drink that you had to leave you feeling really groggy, probably hungover.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel that. You actually feel pretty damn good. You're not sure if it was the massage, the sex, or the drink or what, but you feel like butter.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just feel really good. But there's still that fire in you. That like it's right in your core and like basically from your sternum to your abdomen, like there's just a fire, and it's like kind of coursing throughout your whole system.
Mm-hmm.
And she notices that you're awake, and she's like, "Good, you wake." And when you look up, you see her eating what it looks like grapes. She's just kind of like taking one at a time.
That was Conrad kind of paused a bit. Quite the night. I don't think I ever experienced anything quite like that.
Good. Pain likes to give good experiences.
What was that I drank last night?
You've never had it, have you?
I don't know much of anything about my heritage.
Little tiefling doesn't know anything about tieflings. And she just cracks the like most malicious kind of, like just evil smile. And remember, Pain does have, the more jagged, sharp teeth.
Yeah.
So it's really a hardcore devilish grin. And she actually offers you one of the grapes. Like she takes the bundle and like puts it towards your face.
Hey, we'll pick one up and ask, what is it?
Like, try it.
He tries it.
Okay, and it looks just like a regular grape, almost just a little bit darker. And when you put it in your mouth, it has the same texture of a grape. Then you bite into it. And the moment you bite into it, you realize that this is not a grape. As soon as you bite into it, the soft kind of spongy texture of the grape gives way to sharp prickly thorns. And you'd think that biting on a thorn would immediately hurt your mouth. but it doesn't. You can taste the flavor of this fruit in your mouth, but as soon as you bite it into it, like you first taste the taste of it, but then you taste like a little bit of blood, and when the flavor is mixed together, it's very pleasing, surprisingly. And you're not quite sure if it's something with the fruit that's not making your mouth hurt or what, but it doesn't hurt. There's a little bit of a burning sensation where you bit into it, but there's no pain, and it's not like directly pain. It's almost like an exact mix of pain and pleasure on a very docile scale. So it just kind of comes out, just kind of not good or bad. It's just, I mean, it does taste good, but it's very bizarre. I mean, even compared to the drink and everything that you experienced last night, even this is still like, whoa.
And so Connor would kind of, after that first bite, he would take it again and eat it, and like completely, and then go like, what is this? It's good.
That is a thorn grape. It's a commodity that you can only ever get in Lavernius. And you recognize. Give me a history check.
Okay.
No, religion. Sorry.
Okay, I'll roll again.
Yeah.
Religion.
You don't know much about it, but you do know that it has to do with the 9 hells.
Lavernius is. What, it had something to do with the 9 hells, I believe?
Yes, it's one of the domains.
The domains of what exactly?
Devils. And she kind of like chuckles to herself. Just enjoying the fact that you know nothing. She's kind of enjoying it. You get that Pain might not be the smartest cookie in the box. And she's enjoying the fact that she's kind of reveling in the fact that you know less than her. I would have had you roll for it, but it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know much about my heritage. I had 2 human parents. And
she looks at you very quizzitively at that. She's like, she kind of chuckles. She's like, "Are you sure?"
That's what I was told, yeah.
And she just eyes you up and down. She says, "You do not look human."
I know that.
Says it's very strange. Usually those of the bloodline are very apparent. The traits go from parent to child, so if you had 2 human parents, I would question my history and heritage.
Do you know where I can find out more about it? Like, is there a library in town or something like that?
You may be able to find things in town. And she kind of ponders for a second, and she actually lifts up your head, which is no effort for her. And
I'm sure.
She gets out of bed, and she walks over to a little stand, and she thumbs through some things. She says, "There is a place in Celestia, a store there that actually specializes in other planes." And she keeps rummaging through a few things, and she says, "I cannot find it, but come see me another day, and I might have more information for you."
Thank you. After last night, I really wanted to know more about my devil blood.
And she turns around and starts walking towards the bed, and she's like, "No problem. Payne had a wonderful evening. It's not often she gets to spend an evening with one of herself, and I've never had a small one like you." And she lets out another devilish grin.
I had a real nice night as well.
And you feel something like creeping up kind of your shoulder and like towards your face, and you realize that her tail's basically come up to caress you.
Yeah, and also I guess Conrad's tail would also can't have control of it yet, obviously, but like it would just kind of stand up, I guess.
Yeah, it's your tail. It's kind of it's it's almost like a reaction for you most of the time
Yeah.
with your tail. So when you feel it just like slithering up your body, it's another, again, a sensation. Like, you've been around snakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, if you were ever in the woods and a snake came to you, you usually just shoot it off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, this is a nice kind of sensation. You're not quite sure if it's just because you're relaxed and you're kind of just accepting at this point, but it is a nice sensation. And, yes, your tail does kind of like ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
kind of wagging a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I imagine.
And she looks to you, she looks to you, like, grabs the bottom of your chin, and, with her hand, like, she's almost able to grab your whole entire head. And she just looks you up real quick, and you feel a smack with her tail, like, right to the side of your head. She's like, now get dressed. Peyton has things to do today.
Yes, ma'am.
And she goes over and starts getting dressed.
Yeah, no, he gets dressed as well.
And she kind of like, after she gets dressed and sees that you gathered your things, she starts walking towards the door. She's like, come see Peyton again. Next time she may give you a discount.
Okay.
Okay.
Then Conrad would leave, I guess. We can move us back now.
Moose.
Okay. I'm here.
Welcome back.
Yo.
Okay. Cletus.
Yes.
You start stirring. It is, definitely not early. The sun's way up in the sky. And you stir. You're still a little tired. You kind of stayed up quite a little bit late, but the hustle and bustle of town, you can kind of hear it outside, and you're stirred awake.
Okay. I'm just gonna gather my things up, or I don't leave my things in here, but I'm gonna wash up and then head downstairs.
Okay. You leave your room, and as you're leaving, you see Sin coming out of his room.
I wave to him.
And he waves back, and... no, he does not wave back. He just kind of looks at you and scurries down the steps.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just gonna head down the steps then too.
Okay. You guys make your way to the tavern. There's not a lot of people in here. And he just kind of goes over and gets some food, and he, kind of stays a few paces away from you.
Okay. Well, I see he's kind of avoiding me, so I'm gonna go sit down at the bar, not next to him though.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask the bartender, barkeep, whatever, if I can get some breakfast, and that also have my room again for another night.
Okay. He nods again. It's it's kind of unusual. The first day that you guys were here, Katmara was all around. Like she was here like nonstop. Just like last night, Katmara's not there, but you do see the middle-aged human bartender Felden. He's working the bar. He actually, before you even say anything, he goes and grabs you and Sin breakfast, and he brings it over to you. You tell him that you would like a room for another night, and he nods, takes your money for the evening. That's going to be another 5 silver.
Okay.
And he just tells you same room.
Sounds good. I ask him what his name is. I don't know if do I know his name?
You do not know his name.
Okay,
He
I
tells
ask him
you
what his name is.
He tells you it's Felden.
Alright, good to know, because I might be seeing you. It's a little more proper to greet someone by their name.
He nods towards you, and he just goes back to working. Okay, we'll pause on you for right now. Conrad, Corin, and Nat. You guys all open up the door, and as soon as you guys open up the door, you see other doors on the 3rd floor opening as well. As you see each of you stepping out with your perspective let's say, partner for the evening, so you all get to see who the other person was with.
Okay.
Current's actually gonna be blushing and hurrying down the stairs.
Okay. As Conrad, you go to step outside of the door.
Uh-huh.
You guys all see this. You get yoked up real quick and literally picked up off your feet. And Payne picks you up and just gives you like a deep, deep kiss. Sets you back down, and she kind of like pushes you towards the steps a little bit, and you like take like a half step, like 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 a tumble, because you weren't really expecting it, and then as you take that first step, you feel a slap right on your ass, and you realize that she just smacked you with her tail.
So as I assume that happened, right? So as Conrad's stumbles and catches himself and walks down steps, kind of has an awkward smile on his face, and it's kind of rubbing the back of his head. And,
well, this
going
was
down.
right outside of her door.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying.
And I'm watching this.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, you heard it too. That was a pretty good smack.
Yep.
And you all see Payne just sitting there with a devilish grin. She has very sharp teeth, and when you think of a devil, that's Payne. I mean, you guys all saw what she looked like.
Yeah,
and as Matt is coming out, Tyriok gives her just the biggest Barney hug ever.
Madeline hugs back.
He literally picks you off the floor a couple inches.
Woo!
And he looks towards you now, and he's like, "Come back anytime."
I certainly will.
And you guys see this large dragonborn with a very soft, silky robe with fur lining hugging Nat, and sets her down.
I'm staring at Payne and Conrad.
Like you said, Conrad actually walked his way downstairs.
Oh yeah, this all happened at once.
Yeah.
So you guys are all sitting there. You guys see Corn start fluttering downstairs. You see Conrad quickly it's hard for a tiefling to really blush, but you can tell that there's a little bit of redness in his face.
Yep. And
Nat seems the least perturbed about the situation. She almost has almost a skip in her step. And just the biggest grin on her face.
I had the biggest sense of deja vu just watching Conrad go downstairs in embarrassment, and it's shame. Just saying.
Okay, so you three make your way down, and you see Sin and Cletus already down there. And as you guys are making your way down, you guys hear another set of footprints coming down, very heavy. As you see Dame of Ceres pulling up the rear right behind you guys. And you hear him thudding down the stairs. He's coming from the second floor. And he notices you guys as soon as he gets downstairs. You guys see him, and he gives you guys one of those bro nods, what's up?
That gives Dame of Ceres finger crossbows.
He smiles and gives them back.
Yes, finally did it.
And he looks at the group, and he's like, especially at you three, and he's like, "You guys seem like you guys had a fun evening."
I had quite the night.
And he actually walks over to Conrad. He puts his large arm and hand on your shoulder. He's like, you're gonna have to tell me about it. And he rubs your hair real quick, kind of bro manner, yeah, you gotta tell me about your conquest.
That says me too.
And he grabs a seat right next to Cletus. Cletus, he pats you on your back, hey, like a warrior pat on your back, good morning.
I pat him right back and say good morning.
And he looks over towards Sin, who's kind of off by himself. Sin is actually facing away from you guys. You can only see the backside, and Sin's picking through his breakfast, feeding a little bit to his dragonling, and just looking the other way.
Think he's in a bad mood today. I whispered Daemis.
Okay, you whisper it?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check. He heard it. He doesn't say anything.
Okay.
After a few moments, as soon as you guys sit down, you guys see Felden bring you over you guys' breakfast, and as he's serving the food, you guys hear another set of footsteps coming down the stairs, and there's Daylock. He seems kind of down. But he kind of are you guys all sitting at the bar to eat?
Conrad is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He actually, sits at the bar too, but a couple stools away from you guys. Doesn't really make eye contact with any of you.
Did we see which floor he came from?
Give me a perception check.
Yay.
I want to do that too, actually. Just out of
Anyone who
curiosity.
wants to.
Ah, dang it.
Nat, you could not care less what floor he came from. You are on cloud 9 right now. Corn, same with you. You are, you don't give a shit about what Daylock was doing last night. I mean, you had a wonderful evening, so you don't care. Conrad, you do hear him. It sounded like he came from the second floor.
Okay.
Makes sense that Conrad's a little on high perception, on edge.
I mean, if you want to do an insight on Conrad.
I do.
No, I'm good. I just
Dang it!
metagaming.
I mean, Conrad has a pretty good smile on his face.
He does.
I saw it, so I could do an insight check, despite me getting an 11.
I knew we went up to the 13th floor, so I figured he had a good time.
Yeah, Cletus, given your night of, staying awake and, you feeling a little tired, you just kind of went to bed. It wasn't a very eventful evening. I would say you might have a little twinge of jealousy, maybe just a tiny bit, because these three do look like they had a good evening. Like, you can tell it. Like, they're all three of them. Like, there's a spring in their step.
Okay. Fair.
You don't even need to roll for that. That is obvious.
Yeah.
Like, everyone, you guys look very different than what you guys, when you guys arrived in town yesterday, you were very tired. You guys hoofed it all the way here. These three look very refreshed and pretty happy.
Okay.
Sin quickly gets up. He actually brings his plate and stuff over to the bar, and he sets it down, and he just leaves the tavern.
So Connor would ask the bartender.
Okay.
I assume I already ordered breakfast, correct?
Yeah, he brought it as soon as you guys came down.
Yeah. So he would ask that he be able to rent the room for 2 weeks.
He nods and he says, 2 weeks. Let me do some math. 5 is over 2 weeks. 7, 14. I'm not feeling well. I don't feel like doing math. That's going to be 70 silver or 7 gold.
I'll do 70 silver.
Okay. He takes the money from you and he's like, same room.
All right.
Goran will do the same.
Okay. 7 gold or 70 silver.
Yep.
Okay. He takes your money. He tells you the same room. And Daylock finishes eating. Daemis finishes eating, and he slides his plate forward and he looks towards the rest of you guys. He says, "So, I've been hearing from a few different people that there's a festival tomorrow."
Yeah. The summer festival?
Yeah, apparently it's a big deal around here. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, after what's been happening to us the last few days, I think we kind of deserve a break.
I agree.
Festival sounds fun.
And so he looks to the group. So you guys all want to catch that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he looks over towards Daylock and he's like, "How about you, little one?" And this is the first time Daylock looks up. He's like, yeah, I would like that." And he almost cracks like a half smile.
Inside. Possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's clear that he just wants to try and have some fun. That's just my guess.
Corn, with how things have been going the last few days since, you guys have been working with Daylock, besides, a few healing here and there that he was able to provide, combat-wise, a lot of his attacks missed. He knows that the group was upset with his choice to, how to deal with the kobolds. He seems a little bit down and almost kind of like embarrassed and like, it seems like he doesn't think that he's good enough or worthy, or there's something about his general, like look about him, like he's down about something. There's a few good guesses that you could make about why, but it's really hard to say. I mean, given how many things went wrong, it's hard to pinpoint which one, and maybe all of them.
Okay.
Have you ever looked at a dog, like when you catch them doing something and they give you that face of like they don't want to look at your eyes and they just like kind of walk away, kind of like that. That very like kind of submissive, like don't hurt me. Daemissaries, he speaks up and he's like, "So, we got all day today to ourselves then if we're going to be hitting up the festival. You guys have anything you guys need to take care of?"
I
I
gotta
was
go
looking-
shopping.
Same.
I have a few chores to do myself. But yes.
He looks at the group after hearing all that smile. He's like, "Okay, so once we're finished eating, why don't we head to town? Head to the, have a night or have a day out on the town, getting stuff, whatever we need."
Did Daylock say that he was going to come with us to go shopping?
He did not yet.
What
can
about
ask
you,
him.
Daylock? What are you going to do today?
And he pauses for a second. He's like, I can come with you guys. I do need a refill on some things. If you guys don't mind.
Come on.
Not at all.
I gotta look out for you anyways.
He kind of gives another like half smile when you say that.
I smile back.
Okay, after a few moments, you guys finish up with your breakfast. It's, again, another delicious breakfast at the Squawking Box. They never
Yum.
fail to impress you.
Mm-hmm. Also, I guess while I was eating my breakfast, Conrad would want to ask the bartender if he can refill his water skin if he needed it.
Of course. He looks towards the group. Anyone else need it?
I do. That's it.
Same.
Okay. You grab your guys' water skins, and, after a few moments, he comes back, they're filled, and he starts dishing them back out to you guys.
Wait.
Okay. Are you guys there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, I'm like, okay, you guys got your water skins.
Yeah. I know.
Someone said wait, so I'm like, are they gonna
Oh,
say something?
I said sweet. Someone must have
Oh,
heard that as wait.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of sounded like wait, so I was like, I paused for a second. No one said anything, so I was like, okay.
My bad. Okay, go on.
Let's go shopping, everyone.
And as soon as you say that, Felden actually speaks up. He says, there should be a lot of shops open today, but there should probably be a lot that are actually closed up for the day because they are setting up for the festival.
Makes sense.
But he said most of the major shops should be open.
Well, thank you for that tidbit.
He
See you
gives
later.
you
See you
like a
later,
little,
Felden.
yeah, he gives you a little nod, and he goes back to working.
Nak actually goes up to him, and she asked about the mail system.
Oh, and he looks over to you. He's like, yeah, that's not a problem at all. Where do you need to send mail to?
To a village called Lore.
Is it out of Elwillis?
Yes.
That's not a problem at all. Yeah, just go over to let me pull it up real quick. Just head over to the general store, the major general store in town. It's called Valmart. Valtenor will be able to assist you in that.
Great, thank you.
And he gives you a nod.
I joined the rest of the group.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know a lot of campaigns you guys have seen or heard. A lot of times they do perception or investigation to look for stores and stuff like that. As you see by this map, Letest is very well built and is very easily arranged and stuff like that. So, you guys, I mean, if you guys need to find anything, it's basically, shorthand. You guys just ask someone in town, and they just point you immediately in the direction. There will be places that you guys do have to do investigations, or if you guys want anything in particular. But for the most part, I mean, this town, unless you guys need anything in particular, you guys really don't need to. So you guys leave the squawking box, and you guys are all standing outside.
Okay. So Connor would actually say he wants to go to find a blacksmith first.
Okay. Damasari speaks up. He's like, I really don't need to get too many things today, but I wouldn't mind seeing what's available. So I'll just probably follow you guys around.
Me too. Well, I
Yep.
take care of my chores.
Come
Just travel in a group. If someone needs to break off or something specific, they can do that.
Damasari's nods, and Daylock speaks up. He says, I just need to make my way over to the arcane store, and hopefully they should have supplies like potions and the like. I do need to restock.
We'll probably be able to hit that after the blacksmith and something else, maybe. We'll hit it today.
Okay. So you guys want to go over to the blacksmith first?
Yes.
Okay. After asking one person as soon as you guys leave, they point you right in the direction. You guys see it on the map?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, again, Letest is very well built. It's easy. You guys find your way over there. You guys come up to a building. It's a large stonework building with a kind of like a porch overhang. If you guys have ever seen or played Skyrim, it's the atypical blacksmith-looking place. It has like the little forge and stuff outside. A smokestack coming from the inside, and you guys actually see when you go up there, you see two twin dwarves, and there's a sign above the smith. It's two hammers crossing, and it says double hammer. And you see them out there like clinking and stuff like that. One of the dwarfs is very unique for a dwarf, especially a male dwarf. He has long, flowing blonde hair and no beard. This is probably the first male dwarf any of you have ever seen without a beard. And then the other one has very short, scraggly hair with a very long, flowing beard. His hair almost is like, I don't really know a better term for it, but like a Jufro. You know what I'm talking about? Like the short, like
Yeah.
It's basically like a short throw. Hold on a second. Yeah. So you guys see him working out there?
Yeah. Conrad would go up to the guy and say, "Hello."
They stop hammering, and the first one, the one with the long flowing beard, looks up. He's like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And the other one pushes him out of the way, and he's like, "No, how can I help you?" And the other one like kind of punches him in his arm real quick, and he kind of rubs it a little bit.
I'm actually looking to see if you guys have any short swords or something along the lines of that.
Of course, we can help you. And the one with the long beard looks over and he sees your swords. And he's like, you looking to upgrade or are you what?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking to upgrade, see if I can get something maybe better.
And he's like, do you mind if I, took a look at those?
Sure.
And the other one kind of pushes him out of the way. He's like, no, let me take a look at them. And he reaches his hand out.
I kind of would draw them out in the flourish and then, give them to one on each, hilt side,
Okay. They take them and they flip them over, look at them. They kind of like put them up to kind of see if they have like a curve or anything. Make sure that they're straight. They do a couple swings with them. The other one like takes his knuckle and he kind of like bangs it along the metal of the blade. He says, besides a few nicks, these are actually fairly well made.
Thank you.
And the other one looks over. He's like, but we could do better. And the other one looks over. Of course, we could do better. I mean, did you want to get new ones, or did you just want us to, give this a little bit of repair work?
Well, I'm just kind of curious, like, what kind of new ones, like, do you have exactly?
And the one with the long beard kind of tosses the other sword that you gave him towards the other one, and without even looking, the other one catches it, blade first. And he's like, and he puts them two together in his hand, and the one who threw it is like, "Why don't you come in our shop real quick?"
He will do so.
And the other one, holds your swords as they walk in together to the store. Do you guys follow?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull Daylock aside. I wanna have a word with him for a sec before I go in there.
Okay. You guys go inside. Daylock goes to proceed, and you kind of put your hand up. He's like, yes.
Hold up a minute. I wanna talk to you about something.
Of course. What do you need, Sir Cletus?
Are they all in there?
Yeah, they've gone inside.
Okay. You seem to have been having either a really bad string of luck with your fighting abilities and whatnot. Have you ever thought about taking up a sword or some other weapon instead of what you usually do?
Well, he actually pulls out his sword. He says, "Well, I've used this before. And you have seen him use it. He did use it once in a fight."
Okay. I just didn't realize that he had a sword.
Yeah, he has a sword.
Okay. Well, I guess if you got something, then you're good to go. That's all I wanted.
And he nods towards you, and you guys, do you follow in the smith with him?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way in. After like just a few seconds, you guys see Cletus and Daylock enter the store as well. Everyone, like, as you go in, like, there are just swords and different weapons all over the walls. There's a few armor sets, like, put up here and there. Pretty good range. Nothing like, the armor sets that you saw in Celestia, but, for what you guys are used to, it's very fine craftsmanship. Very good quality, mostly iron. There's a few here and there that seem to be made of silver. A few other ones made of a darker metal. If anyone wants to do a nature check to see what they are. Wow, great checks. It appears to be adamantine.
Ooh.
There's only one or two of them, but they are on the wall. And they bring your swords over to the counter, and the two twin dwarfs, they look over at Conrad's. So, what are you thinking about getting?
Some sort of light blade, sort of like these. I'm just looking to see if I can upgrade them, basically, or find a substitute blade that's better.
And they start looking around the shop and stuff like that, and they're like, well, I mean, if you want to get a finer quality metal, I mean, metal cuts the same no matter where you're at and what you're hitting, but, they kind of chuckle. They're like, I mean, unless you're trying to get something enchanted, I mean, we don't really deal with enchantments. We just forge the base works of the swords.
Okay.
Nadalin nudges Demosaries and says, think I would work well with the hammer?
And he looks over to you, you're like, do you mean forging, or?
Wielding one.
And he looks towards you, and he kind of grabs his hammer, and he's like, hold this. And he hands out his hammer towards you.
Nat tries it.
Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I'm not sure about this, Rick.
I'm pretty sure I failed it when I did it.
Cletus had to use the strength check, so yeah.
Alright, just strength?
Yep, just straight strength. Okay, you're able to hold it, but it is kind of wobbly.
Oh, whoa.
You have a feeling that it would probably take you quite a bit of training to get used to this. And he kind of chuckles because you're kind of you literally have to kind of widen your base a little bit to really hold it. I mean, this hammer is almost the size of you. And the dwarves actually look over at the hammer when he pulls it out and hands it to you, and the one with the long flowing beard looks over. He's like, I've never seen a hammer that large.
Me neither. That says.
Demosaries takes it from you. He's like, I've been using hammers ever since I was back with my herd, and they never made kitty weapons, so I always had to get used to what the adults use. So, and he just kind of stops right there, and he's like, he just kind of goes quiet, kind of somber face.
I give him a few pats, and I say it's a nice hammer.
He gives a half smile. You can tell he's not really there right now. He seems to be thinking about something else.
You understand that?
Okay, go ahead.
This is gonna look at armor that they have, if they have any.
I mean, yeah, they have plenty of different armors. They got chainmail, scale mail, couple sets of plate. Nothing too fancy. I mean, a lot of the stuff is pretty comparable to what you have.
Okay, so not much better, or about the same quality.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that are new. I mean, yours has a few dings in it here and there, but it's still sturdy, still very serviceable. For both you and Conrad, looking at these weapons and armor, you get the sense that if you guys were to get anything from here, besides going silver or adamantine, it'd pretty much be the same thing, just newer.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess after browsing, Conrad, because as you said, just from the looking at the place, it looks like there's not much they can do for me unless I go spring for the big stuff, right?
Yeah, basically. If you basically have to either switch to a different weapon type or go for the silver or adamantine.
Yeah.
And browsing the adamantine and silver, definitely a little bit out of your price range.
I would imagine so, yeah. And so Conrad would thank them for their time and walk out of the shop.
Okay. You guys all follow?
Yes.
Yep.
As you guys, you take your short swords from them, they're like,
yeah.
Hi, if you ever need some work done, or if you need us to, fix up your wares, or, give them a good polish, or, hammer out any dings or anything like that, we do pretty good job, in, fair prices for service.
I'll keep that in mind.
Corin turns around real quick. Do you do fitting for armor and weapons for my size?
And they look at you, and they see that you're wearing leather, and they're like, well, I mean, yeah, of course we could.
Okay, just something to keep in mind.
They give you a
Thanks.
nod. You do notice that they don't carry too many leather armor, but they do have 1 or 2 sets. You get the feeling that they mostly work in metal, and they probably, buy the leather armor somewhere else, because you don't see any tanning materials or anything in their shop or outside.
No, it was just about whether they could actually forge something that fits Corin.
Well, I mean, they are dwarfs, so, they're used to going up and down sizes, so... Okay, you guys walk out of the smith, Daemis looks towards the group. Where next?
What exactly is a haberdashery?
Haberdashery is where you get clothing, hats, things like that.
Okay.
It's basically a seamstress.
Yeah,
Carl-
so
Corin will ask if there's a jeweler around anywhere.
You are pointed to a store, but the person does let you know that they are closed for the day.
Okay.
They will be setting up a stall for the festival.
Okay.
We could go to that place that Durlock was talking about.
Oh, the arcane shop?
Yes.
Of course. And you guys ask around, and you guys get pointed to the right direction. As you guys walk past, you guys do see the haberdashery, and you also see the Fletcher guys out there. He's like crafting bows and setting up arrows and stuff like that. Haberdashery, it's you can't really see them doing any work outside, but you do see like just walking past through the windows a lot of clothes and stuff like that. Hold up.
Do they sell cloaks there?
Yes.
Yeah, and that says she's gonna go check that place real quick.
Karen actually wants to as well, if that's all right.
Okay. They Daylock, Daemis hear that, and they start walking over there.
Cletus follows.
Okay. You guys enter inside, and there's a sign outside. It's called the Dirty Mane. It has a picture of a lion on it. You guys go inside, and you see a middle-aged woman there. She's behind the counter, and a few children, ranging from like 12 to like 16, 17. There's 3 of them just, moving around, like folding stuff, setting stuff up. And as soon as you guys walk inside, she looks up and she's like, "Oh, hi, how can I help you?"
Yes. Do you guys sell any cloaks by any chance?
Of course. What are you looking for?
Something decently, not too fancy. Maybe, gets the job done.
Oh, so you're looking for more of a travel cloak?
Yes, actually.
Like, oh, right this way. Shelly will help you. And, she walks you over towards one of the corners of the stores, and there's a wider range of cloaks and hoods and stuff like that. Some of them are very fine, almost like dress wear. Some of them are very thick, rough material, and, few in between. And she's like, "Are you looking for a particular color?"
Yeah. Red?
And she, like thumbs through a few, and she pulls out, and, she pulls out a nice, it's very simple, no frill or anything like that, but is a, pretty deep red cloak. It's pretty close to your hair color, and, she pulls it out, and, it's actually pretty close to your size. She says, like, "Oh, I hope this one would fit you," and she kind of like sizes it up real quick, and she's like, "Yeah, this should do," and she hands it to you.
How much? Nelyn asks.
Poop, I kind of forgot the price, but you know the price.
But yes.
Yeah.
I hate
she
that
tells you the
amount.
price. Sorry. I think it was, what was it? Like
5 gold.
Yeah, it was 5 gold.
Yep. Hand her the 5 gold.
Okay. She kind of folds it up and hands it to you.
Thank you.
She's like, Rick, and one of her children comes over and she gives the money to him, and he runs back over to the counter and like puts it in like a little lockbox.
So, comrade. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, she was just smiling when she saw that, but you can go ahead.
Comrade would actually ask, because I imagine his outfit's a little bit banged up, like
Yeah.
actual clothes. And so Conrad would kind of go up to them and ask, do you do any like sewing services, for example?
Of course. And she looks you up and down. And she's like, but I would need to, have the clothes to sew them. Do you have any other outfits?
I'm actually going to need a new outfit as well, just while you're sewing them. If you
Now with Snickers.
And she looks you up and down and bites her lip, and she's like, well, did you want to purchase a new outfit, or?
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, do you have any preference or anything, or do you just want something very simple while I sew this up?
I just think real simple for now.
Okay. She leads you over to the opposite corner of the store, and it's basically like simple shirts, pants, things like that. Nothing too extravagant. It's, simple linen pants and shirts, various colors and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she looks towards you expectingly, like to pick out what color and stuff.
So Conrad would want kind of like the same color as undershirt is for the shirt.
Okay.
And then, like, I guess, pair of brown pants.
So basically what you're wearing?
Basically what I'm wearing, yes.
Okay. She does find one that's pretty close match. She pulls it off the rack and she's like, if you don't mind, and she points towards like it's just a simple like hinge door. She's like, you can actually change in that room.
He does so.
And she calls out, Jessica, will you help this gentleman? And you see it's one of the older children. It's a female. And she walks over, and her mother hands her the clothes that you picked out, and she kind of like nods towards you to like and gestures towards the room.
Yeah, he would go into the room.
Okay. And as you get to the door, like she hands you the clothes that you picked out, and she opens up the door for you. And she says, if you could just fold up your clothes that you need sewing and just leave them on the bench in there.
He would do so, yeah.
Okay. And it only takes a few moments. You change out, you swap out. Your jacket's pretty good. Your overcoat, like there's no holes or anything like that, so you get away with continuing to wear it.
Okay.
You leave your clothes there, and after you step out with your, same look, just new and fresh, she walks in, grabs your clothes, and she goes into a back door, towards the back part of the store. And the mother walks over and she says, for the outfit and for the fixing, and she kind of like does a little bit of mental math. She was like, that would be 3 gold.
All right, thank you. He hands her the gold.
Okay.
3
And
gold, you
takes
said?
it. Yes.
I'll do that right now.
And she looks towards the group. She's like, can I help anyone else today?
I'm good.
Daylock says, no, ma'am. And Damus Aries is like, nope, not today, ma'am. And she's like, she nods towards the group. She's like, okay, well, come back to the Dirty Main whenever. And she looks towards you, Conrad, and she says, I should have these ready the day after the festival. Is that okay?
Out of character, that's like 2 days from now, right?
Yeah, it's literally day after tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. All right, that works. Thanks, Conrad says.
And she nods and she says, well, come back to the Dirty Main, and the Welton family will help you whenever you need.
Sure. Conrad walks out.
Yeah, and that says goodbye
And
to
the
her,
name
and then
Welton-
goodbye to the kids.
Okay, and the name Welton does kind of ring in your guys' ears. You do recognize the name.
Guard
Well,
Captain.
Wasn't that the... Yeah, Captain Wilton, yeah.
Yep. And looking at the kids, a few of them do kind of look like him.
Huh.
Especially the boys.
I tell Conrad as we're walking out, looking sharp.
Yeah,
Thank
it's basically the same exact outfit.
It literally is.
That one says you look like a new man. Kitty face.
Okay, so
Corbin.
you guys,
Who are you?
yeah, who are you? You look totally different. Yeah, so you guys head out of the haberdashery. Where do next?
Conrad, I guess after noticing the Fletcher, we would actually ask if we can go there.
Okay, Damasaries nods.
I don't mind.
Sounds good.
Okay, you guys head over there. Let me pull this up again. You guys get over there, and it's, for a Fletcher, has a really audacious looking sign. It's a man standing there. It's like a kind of a thin set man, holding an arrow basically like by his waist, and the arrow's kind of pointing up. And on the sign it says the long shaft.
Okay.
Yeah. And you guys walk over, and it's kind of like the front of the store has really big doors that are open currently, and so you can basically see all what's going on inside. And you see a young looking elf there, reddish brown hair, long reddish brown hair, lanky build, and just kind of like a benign demeanor. Like he almost looks like he's just going through the motions.
Hello, sir.
And he looks up. He's like, "Hi, how can I help you?"
I'm looking for some arrows.
And he looks over you. He's like, any specific type?
Well, I would like 100 basic, as well as I was wondering if you have any like specialty type arrows.
Of course, we take care of all your arrow needs. Like he's saying it very half-assed, like almost with like a little bit of sarcasm.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
You'll give him the shaft.
And wait, do you say that?
Yes.
Okay, he hears it and rolls his eyes. Like, he's like, "Damn my father!" And he just walks over to like, he has like a few bins that are just filled with arrows.
No.
You said 100, correct?
Yes.
No regrets.
I gotta pull this up real quick. I think it's in there. That's gonna be for 100. That's gonna be. I'm just gonna round up. 4 gold.
Okay, we'll do that. And then he asked about specialty ones as well.
Yeah. He actually takes you over to the counter is actually like a display case, and looking in it, there are some very unique looking arrows. All of these are, most of them have metal shafts to them that have runes inscribed on them. If anyone wants to do an Arcana check.
1 sec.
Sure.
Conrad, I mean, you've seen a few times now that, weird writing usually means magic. Nat, you've seen stuff like this before. These are all enchanted arrows. And he walks over to the counter. He's like, "We have a few in stock right now." And he points to one. He says, "This is the Shiver Strike arrow. It's basically an arrow that when you fire it, it splits away and it kind of sends shrapnel everywhere." He points to another one. He says, "This is the Shadow Shaft arrow. When you fire it, wherever it lands, it actually creates a field of smoke that can, conceal and hide." He points to another one. He says, "This is the Firestorm arrow. It basically has the spell Fireball enchanted to the arrow. When you launch it, wherever it strikes, it will create a relatively fair-sized gout of fire. And this over here is the lightning arrow. And just like the name says, it makes lightning." He's, kind of half-assedly, like, explaining everything.
It's funny because, like, while he's half-assedly explaining it, Conrad's actually very intrigued.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me
Like,
more.
woo!
That is too.
Yeah, so Conrad will ask how much each arrow is, actually.
He says that the Shiver Strike arrow, the shrapnel one, is 50 gold an arrow. The Shadow Shaft arrow, which is the smoke one, is also 50 gold. And the Firestorm and the Lightning one are 30 gold an arrow. He has one of the Shiver Strike, he has one of the Shadow Shaft, 2 of the Firestorms, and 1 of the Lightning arrows.
Conrad's going to buy the lightning arrow one.
Okay, that's going to be 30 gold.
Okay.
He takes your money, he reaches under the counter, grabs the lightning arrow very daintily, very carefully, and he sets it down on the counter, and he actually wraps it in this thin cloth, and he hands it to you.
I buy one of those fire arrows.
Okay. That's 30 gold.
You got it.
He does the same thing, very daintily picks it up, wraps it up in a cloth, and hands it to you, Nat.
She then gives it to Conrad.
Conrad actually kind of looks surprised by that. Like, thank you. That's
No problem.
Of you. And I guess Conrad will put it all in his side pouch of holding, and but the other, yeah.
Okay. Damus Ares, upon seeing the arrows, he kind of like nudges you. And remember, when Damus Ares nudges anyone besides Cletus, like almost your whole body moves.
Yeah.
Who's getting nudged?
Conrad.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, let's just hope you hit him with these.
And that's just
and he has just the biggest sly grin on his face.
Conrad's face went from happy from Natlan's gift to like, oh, god damn it.
Oh, he came here to have a good time. He just feels so attacked right now.
Yeah, you feel a little down for just a split second, but then you remember your evening, and you're just like, nah, whatever.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, sir.
And he gives a very half-assed nod. He's like, of course, and come back any time to the long shaft. And he rolls his eyes.
So, like, that was like Gasper from that good comment, but has no choice but to give David Series, some more finger crossbows.
And he gives you a finger crossbow back.
As they're leaving, Corona will fake whisper, "So Conrad, I heard it's not just about the length, but also the girth of the shaft."
And you hear a very loud "ugh" from the elf.
Poor Conrad.
So you guys leave the store. And where would you guys like to head next?
Where do you guys want to go next?
Well, we still got to go to that place Daylock wanted to go to.
Do they sell potions there as well?
The
believe
arcane
so.
place? Yes, that's where he wants to go for potions.
Okay.
And he actually, you guys ask around, and they point you towards the direction. And on your way there, you guys do pass the general store, Valmart.
Okay. Have we seen Sin at all?
What was that?
Have we seen Sin at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
And as you guys go towards past Valmart, Daylock actually speaks up and says, Lady Nat, didn't you have to go in here?
Which place is he pointing to?
Valmart.
Yeah. Yes. She says, "Yes, you're right. Thank you for noticing."
And he gives like a bigger smile than the half-assed ones that he was giving before. Like, he seems to be cheering up a little bit. Every time he seems to help someone, he kind of cheers up a little bit.
That's so adorable.
Yep. So I guess we all go in.
Yeah.
If you guys want to.
Yep.
Sure.
You guys enter. This is, it's in the market area on the map. It's one of the larger stores in that area. A lot of what's in the market area, there's like 1 or 2 like full-size stores, but most of them are little, like stalls and stuff like that. Most of the stalls today are kind of empty. But you do see that Valmart is open. As you guys walk in, there's a few customers walking out. You guys enter. It's a simple wood building. And it has right on the front. Think of the Walmart sign, but instead it says Valmart. It's huge. Like, it takes up a good chunk of the front of the building. And as you guys step in, you guys see there is a gnome in the front of the store. He has like a very simple red vest. He's like, "Oh, welcome to Valmart. How can I help you today?"
Nylon says, yes, I heard there was a mail system here.
Of course. And he points towards the main counter. He's like, our boss Val will be able to help you with that.
Great, thank you.
And he nods.
So I go over to do that.
Okay, you guys walk up to the counter. You see a half-elf man, kind of robust for a half-elf, with short-trimmed beard and very jovial attitude. He's helping a customer as you guys are walking up, and he gives them a big smile. It's like, "Thank you, and come back to Valmart anytime." And he sees your group approaching. He's like, "Welcome to Valmart. How can I be of assistance? I'm Val, and I will meet any needs you have." And he gives you like a big smile and a wink.
Nylon says, yes, I have mail to deliver.
Of course. Right this way. And he actually walks to the edge of the counter, swings open a little door, and right on the side of the counter, there's another door leading into another room. He opens up the door, and kind of ushers the group inside. You guys go inside?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys go inside, and you see a room. Basically, when you enter the room, it's just a simple room with shelves all along the left and right side, with these little cages all across. And then right above, at the back end of the room, there's a giant opening on the roof. And it's just a hole that goes right over up top. And as you guys look in the cages, you see these very small, weird winged creatures. If anyone wants to give me, I think it's, can't remember if it's give me a nature check.
Okay. Damn it.
Cletus, you were kind of looking around the store when you were walking into this room, and you didn't realize how low the door was. It's a standard sized door, so you actually smack your head on it, and you're like, "Oh!" You kind of rub your head a little bit, but you honestly don't care what's in these cages. Nat, you've never seen these creatures before. They look really weird. They're an amalgamation of, I guess, different creatures. You've never seen it. Same with you, Corn. You've seen a lot of weird things, but you do not recognize this. Conrad, you've never seen one, but you've heard stories. These are griffins, but very, very small. These are like corn-sized griffins. And you had no clue they could be this small.
Wow.
And they're all, some of them are laying down, and some of them are kind of like squawking and stuff like that. And they're all just kind of like cooing when Val walks in. And, he walks over towards one. He's like, where do you need to send this?
To the village of Lore.
Is that outside of Elwes?
It is.
Okay. And he walks over and he's like, what did you need to send?
She takes out the contents.
Okay. You guys see Nat pull out these 2 small wooden swords, and she wrestles a few coins and stuff like that in a letter. And she hands it to the man, and he takes those things, and he goes by this one, like underneath the rows of the griffins. There's like different cubby holes with like different sized boxes, bags, things like that. And he walks over, and he like goes up and down, like looking at the boxes, like one eye open, tongue slightly hanging out, like trying to eyeball which package would best fit these needs. And he grabs one, puts the things all in it, like encloses it, He grabs some twine off of one of the shelves, wraps it up tight and stuff like that. And he goes over and he grabs like this weird red material stuff, and he just kind of like slams it on there. And it kind of smushes down almost like a wax seal. But, he didn't need heat or anything. It just kind of smushes down. And he walks over to you, Nat, and he says, if you wouldn't mind, what I need you to do is I need you to think of the person you want this to go to. Just picture that person in your mind.
She does that.
Okay. Now I need you to put your thumb right down on this red spot right here.
Sure. Boop.
Okay. And as soon as you do it, there's a quick flash of arcane energy, and when you pull back your thumb, there's a big V seal on the thing that you just pressed.
Ooh.
And, it just stays like that. And you almost feel like, like you see a shimmer surrounding the package. And he's like, okay, and he like kind of looks over at the griffins, and he's like, Susie, I'll use you today. And he opens up the cage, and he puts out his hand. He's like, come here, Susie. And, the griffin, like, climbs up on his arm and kind of nuzzles up against him. He kind of nuzzles it back. And, like, the griffin kind of looks towards you, Nat, and he's like, now, if you could, I need you to picture where you want to send this. The house, the village, everything. And picture, again, that person that you want it to go to.
Okay.
And he kind of, like, moves his arm towards you, and he's like, put out your hand.
Does that.
Okay, and he goes up, and the griffin kind of, like, sniffs your hand a little bit, and then kind of puts its head, like, in the palm of your hand.
Oh.
And, like, he says, now just keep picturing it.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few seconds, like, the griffin pulls its head back, and it starts squawking real loud. And, like, he reaches in his pocket and pulls out, like, a little piece of dried meat and gives it to him. And he goes over in the corner where the back of the room where the big hole is, and he kind of, like, lifts up his arm, and the griffin flies up. And with a flash of arcane energy, the griffin grows in size to a full-size griffin.
Oh, jeez.
And there you see, like, it is standing, like, from paw to shoulder is almost like a good 5.5 feet tall. Like, the total height of this griffin is almost 7 feet tall. And it sits there for a second, and he's like, okay, deliver it for me. And you see this griffin jump up, and with a gust, like, you feel the air in this entire room, like, kind of swoosh around with the wingspan of this griffin. It just darts out on the top of the roof. And he's like, okay, that should be delivered there within the day.
Oh, thank you.
And after a few moments, you hear like an arcane explosion of energy a little bit above the roof.
What was that?
So, oh, that's the griffin. They're kind of special griffins. An old friend of mine, he breeds these griffins. Have you ever heard of a blink creature?
Have I?
Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Woo. Ah.
As you're looking up, a little bit of dust gets in your eye, and a feather like pokes you in your face. You're like, and he asks that, you're like, no, I've never heard of it.
No, nope, haven't heard of it.
And he's basically, they have the ability to travel through space. They can travel through the arcane ley lines throughout the universe, and they know the shortcuts. Corin, you've heard of this before. Basically, anything with blink usually means teleportation or space magic.
Where can I get one of these?
And he smiles. He's like, well, I mean, they're pretty expensive. I only got these because the guy who breeds them owed me a huge favor.
How expensive?
He said, he looks you up and down. He was like, I mean, each one is, and he kind of rubs his chin, and he said, I think the last, group that he sold, I mean, they went for 1,000 platinum each.
Okay.
That's pretty expensive.
Corin's voice actually cracks a little bit, like, oh, okay.
Maybe not today.
Maybe not today.
Natalie gives him a soft pat with her finger. Yeah, there.
And he tells you the price and everything.
Yeah.
And you pay him.
Okay.
So are we back at the counter now at this point?
Yeah, he leads you guys outside of the room and towards the general part of the store.
Connor would actually speak up. I actually have something to sell too, if you don't mind.
To sell?
Huh?
Oh, I mean, let me take a look at it.
Connor pulls out the 5 pounds of bear pelt.
All right. He says, I mean, it is kind of unrefined, and he kind of, goes over it a little bit. He says it is fairly good quality and it's a nice size pelt. I mean, the man who usually deals with these things, he owns a stall outside, but he was closed up today. He kind of rubs his chin a little bit. He's like, "How about this? I got a good idea of what he would buy it from you. If you want, you can wait for him to appraise it, or you could sell it to me today."
How much would you say?
And he goes over the pelt again. He's like, a nice specimen like this. You might, maybe 50 gold.
Connor would nod at that. Okay, 50 gold it is then.
Okay. He hands over the 50 gold.
Matt says, "Oh, you don't want to keep it as a trophy of our triumph." She kind of puts like quotation marks on that triumph.
No, thank you. The less we remember the bear incident, the better.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. He pays you the gold and folds it up and puts it on a counter.
Takes the gold.
Okay. You guys need anything else here?
Nope.
Should be good.
We're going to a potion shop, right? Because I just need healing potions next.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nope.
Okay. Okay, so as you guys leave, you guys get towards the door, and when you guys came in, the door was open. As you walk towards the door, the same man who greeted you says, I hope you got everything you needed at Valmart. Have a wonderful day." And
I
he
did.
smiles.
Thank you.
And as you open up the door, you hear a bell ringing, like ding 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 ding.
Walmart.
Yep,
I almost said Walmart.
Basically Walmart. Fantasy Walmart.
They even got greeters and everything.
Yep. I had fun setting up this store. So you guys make your way outside, and it's literally the only other real large building. It's right across the way. You guys see the arcane place right across the road.
I guess we head towards her then.
Okay. You guys get up there. It's again a very simple stone building. This one does have a tower kind of on the back portion of the building, that goes, almost twice the size higher than the building. It's just a simple stone tower that's sitting on the back side. You guys walk up and I pull it up. You guys get to the sign, and it's just a simple sign with a big toad on the front that says "Toad in a hole."
Conrad would enter.
Okay. You guys open up the door, and inside you see immediately you're hit with certain scents and smells and stuff like that. Very aromatic. Frankincense, thyme, all the great, like herb smelling stuff, incense, things like that. And as you guys walk inside, you guys see Sin wrapping up a purchase, and he nods to the guy, and the guy thanks him. And Sin turns around and sees you guys, pauses for a second, and just kind of continues out the door.
As he heads out, I ask him, "Get anything good?"
He's like, "Yeah," and he just continues out the door.
Bye.
He doesn't say anything. He just continues on.
As soon as he's out the door, I'm like, "I told you guys, he's in a bad mood today."
Why?
I don't know.
Feels like he's always in a bad mood. It's like saying Kalidas is a cow today.
I mean, honestly, so far you guys have always seen him in a pretty cheerful mood. He's always cracking. I mean, he's cracked quite a few jokes on the party, and he said a few funny things, and he even helped Nat out that one day with her shirt. So
Yeah, I kind of noticed that he's usually upbeat. Yeah.
Yeah, this is weird. It was ever since you guys turned in the quest yesterday.
So you guys think we might want to talk to some people at the temple about this? Kind of don't trust us.
It might be because we kind of ratted him out to the guard, because he tried to say that nothing happened to him. Remember?
Damasari speaks up. He's like, I really haven't been around too many people the last few years. At my temple, it's a pretty solemn order, but I mean, I do gotta say I wasn't gonna say anything when we were approaching the town because, I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would probably want to look into the matter myself before alerting, the whole town to what happened.
At the same time, though, in the interest of safety, they should probably know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and he kind of looks towards you, Conrad. He's like, well, would you?
Conrad would just kind of pause at that, and then he would just go to the counter instead. And
as you go to move forward, he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. No, it wasn't like a, oh moment. It was just, he's like, he understands the situation. Like,
yeah, I know.
He may not be the smartest, cookie in the shed, but, Yeah. Okay, so as you guys approach the front, you guys see a male satyr. I shouldn't have said that. Nature check.
I mean, we already know what it is, but
you guys know. Your characters may not.
Yeah, I know.
Dang it!
I was about to say doesn't
Okay.
Right, hang on, wait, I gotta go mine.
Yeah.
Nope.
Does Corin get advantage on this, considering satyrs are from the Fey
world? I'm. Don't worry. I got that mental math. For everyone, it's a weird goat-looking creature. You're not quite sure what it is. He doesn't seem to be wearing pants. It's just nothing but fur below the waist. He has hooves. Because the counter is just almost like a simple tabletop, so you can see, below it. He's wearing a white lab coat, and he just looks really weird. He has horns. Not quite sure. Corn, you've seen these before. These are satyrs. You understand them. You've been around them, long ago. You get the gist of who and what they are. They're simple fey creatures. A little mischievous here and there. They, do like music and stuff like that. You've had dealings with them in the past.
Tyler was gonna say hello.
He sees you guys. He's like, welcome. I'm Melanadius. How can I help you today?
Hello, Melanadius. Do you have any healing potions?
He's like, I do. We are in limited stock. The guard just came through the other day and purchased the bulk majority of what we had, but we do still have a few left. And he goes back behind the counter. There's a shelf, and it has like a little leather box container, and he picks it up and he sets it on the counter and he lifts up the flap, and you see 4 vials in there. He says, we do have 3 standard healing potions available and 1 greater healing potion. What are you interested in?
Conrad would ask for one of the standard ones, and he will actually ask, since there's limited supply, if anyone else wants one as well.
I'm good.
Me too, she says with a smile.
Damasari looks over in his bag. He says, I have enough.
Still got
Want me to
one.
check their Damasari's, or you're good?
No, I mean, I have, and you see him struggling for a second. He's like, I got a couple.
Okay. So, out of character though, Damon, I see that you say I have 3 healing potions. Am I
Yes.
in character? Okay. Yeah, Connor will just take 1 then.
Okay. He's like, that would be 60 gold.
He will take it.
Okay.
60 gold, you said?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And after you buy that potion, Daylock says, and I will take whatever you have left. And he looks towards Daylock. He's like, oh, of course. And he takes out the other 2 standard potions and the greater potion. And puts it over. Daylock pulls out, some gold and some platinum, and he gives it to the man. And he's like, oh, thank you.
Madeline turns to downstairs and she says, you sure? Because I did say I owed you one. And she takes out one of her potions.
Oh, no, that's not a problem. I mean, if, just in case you go down again, I know that you have potions, and now that I know you have some, if I run out, I'll just, check to see if you have any, if you need it.
Okay.
I asked the shopkeep if he has anything for poison.
Oh, we don't deal in poisons around here. Poisons
not like a poison, like a cure antidote.
Oh, actually, no. I do have to apologize. Part of the guards actually came through and cleaned out that stock.
That's all right. Thank you, though.
And he kind of like looks around the store, seeing that no one's there, and he kind of leans in. And he's like, the guards have been, dealing with a lot lately with, everything that's been happening around here.
What are you talking about? We're kind of new in town.
Oh, but you guys are part of the, the groups that the Celestia hired, correct?
Yes.
Oh, so you guys are aware. The land's been kind of off lately. A lot of darkness is on the rise. And he kind of says it all like conspiracy-like. He's like, a lot of people and creatures being not where they're supposed to be. A lot of farmers missing, fishermen missing, villagers missing. Like, people are disappearing. A lot of creatures up north. Like, I've heard that Throgomir has been dealing with giants.
Alright, well, we're just... I didn't know if there was something else besides that stuff.
No, things just... They kind of... there's... A lot of people aren't talking about it, but, in hushed whispers everywhere you hear about it, everyone's worried about it.
I would be too. Well, thank you for for all you helped us with.
And he gives you a nod. He's like, oh, of course, come back to the total hole anytime you need it.
Thanks. I head out the door.
So does Conrad.
Madeline walks up to the guy and she asks about the gate spells.
Gate spells. And he's like, oh, are you an arcane practitioner?
Yes, actually.
Well, I mean, and he goes over to this one bin and he looks through and he's like, a group a couple days ago just bought my last few gate scrolls, but I'm kind of out of stock on that. Is that what you wanted, or did you have a question?
I did have a question. Did you know where it was heading to, or?
Oh, I mean, I usually don't ask, where people are going when they buy those gate scrolls. I mean, more than likely they were probably heading somewhere in Elois.
Somewhere in Elois. Oh, she said, oh, and looks down a little bit, but then says, oh, okay. So transportation magic actually works out here?
Well, you actually need and he brings you over here, over towards the counter, and he kind of kind of gestures to the counter. He's like, how gate scrolls normally work, and he puts his finger down and he's like, you're here, and you want to get here, and he puts his finger a few inches away from the other one. He says, normally with gate magic or any transportation magic, you just really need to picture where you want to go, and a portal will open from here to there. Well, the arcane powers around Elois and us being on kind of a demi-plane kind of messes that up. Basically, you start here and you want to go here, but you could end up, and he kind of points you could go here or here or here or here. And he says, and you really don't know where you're going. So how we have to do it in Elois is certain towns and locations actually have receiving stones. And basically you have to, channel the gate and transportation magic to those stones. And that's the only way you can be sure to end up where you want to go. But that means that you can't travel anywhere in Elois. It's like we have one in Leteste, there's one in Celestia, there's one in Throggermere, but I don't recommend trying to go there without permission. Same with Celestia. And any of the ones to the eastern cities and stuff like that. Like, they have them, but those are dangerous lands out there. Full of ruffians and ne'er-do-wells.
That gets Natalie like really thinking, and before she gets too deep into the thought, she tells him, "Thank you. I really need to know that."
Of course. Again, come back for any of your arcane or potion needs.
Will do. Thank you. I join the rest of the group.
Okay, as you turn around, you realize that Daylock was literally standing behind you.
I jump a little bit surprised.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually, I overheard you talking about it, and I was actually interested as well."
Any reason in particular?
Oh, just for Master Raylon.
Were you kind of looking for him? Cause
No. I was just curious, if I needed to catch up with them for any reason, or I needed to, meet up with them. I just wanted to make sure that there was a way to do it.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch up to somebody too.
Oh, who's that, Lady Nat?
It's his tiefling. He's slightly taller, about this big, and she's like,
Oh, let me roll something for him real quick. Oh shit. Are you talking about that tiefling that we saw the first day we left Leteste?
You saw him too?
I think we all did. It was a portal opening out in the middle of a field.
Cletus thought I was really liking grass. I like the grass.
Grass is good.
I thought Sir Cletus was joking.
Didn't sound like it.
Well, I'm not used to most people, so I just thought. And he just kind of goes silent.
It's okay. I'm sure they probably didn't go far. I'm sure Raylon isn't far either. She gently pats him.
I don't know where Sir Raylon is, but I know he's safe. He is the leader of the Platinum Band. I doubt many foes would be able to bring him down. He doesn't stand up to our left, and he stops right there. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Feel free to talk about it if you want.
Go ahead and do a diplomacy check if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
He looks at you and kind of looks down for a second. He's like, "Well, it's I don't know, but when I joined, I did hear stories. They sometimes talk about the last master of the Platinum Band. We're not really supposed to talk about him, but apparently he was even stronger than Master Raylon."
What happened to him?
He kind of looks down and he's like, I really shouldn't be talking about it.
You can tell me as much as you want. Don't worry about it. If you don't want to talk about it, then it's okay.
He looks up and gives you a smile at that, and he starts walking towards the door.
I follow him.
Okay, really?
Wait, what?
If everyone just look at TeamSpeak real quick. There we go. That was weird.
That was really weird.
There's 2 T-Dogs in the chat.
Yeah, it blipped me for a second.
Okay,
Hold on, I'm gonna reconnect with a different Wi-Fi.
Okay, because it was kind of freaking out a little bit. I mean, were you having issues on your end?
Yeah, my internet just sucks.
Oh, okay. I mean, it sounds good right now. It's just...
I
Yeah,
know, but I don't want it to go out again, so I'm hitting up through my personal hotspot on my phone.
Okay.
That'll make it work better.
Should I continue or should we hold for a second?
Hold on one sec.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just doing a quick talk with Daylock. Well, other than that, didn't miss much.
I don't know if he missed it. It was because he was in the chat as two different logins. Like there was two T-Dogs. Kind of confusing.
I missed it for a second, but...
So you missed a little bit of Nat's conversation? Hello?
I don't know if they heard it. Like the characters heard it.
Okay, well...
I mean, our characters didn't hear it because we all left except for Nadlin and Daylock, apparently.
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's good to go.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay,
guessing.
We'll take a... Okay, hold on a sec.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue then.
Yep.
Yeah, so, you guys exit at the Arcana store. After a few moments, Nat and Daylock comes outside.
Where to next? I'm set.
Me too, actually.
Daemon
I'm good.
Series looks towards the group. He's like, I'm pretty much set for the day.
Same.
So back to the Squawking Box. Have a day of relaxation and get ready for the festival tomorrow.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Great.
Okay. What's that?
I said great.
Oh. Again, it almost sounded like wait.
No.
Okay, so you guys head towards the Squawking Box. It's as you guys go through town, the hustle and bustle isn't as huge today. Like, the first day that you guys arrived, like there was a lot of the miners and stuff like going through the town towards, like the mine. But today it's just a lot less traffic. You guys get to the Squawking Box, and not a lot of patrons around. You guys get inside, and you guys see Felden there.
All right, so I guess Connor will go to the bar and say, what time is it at this point?
At this point, it's around like 12, 1 o'clock.
All right. Now we're just kind of go
Like
up to the bar.
noon
Hello,
or past midnight? That's probably.
Oh, no. Like, it's like 1 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, we'll just Go on.
I just said Connor walked up to the bar.
Okay.
Same.
Yep.
Anyone in the bar we know?
You guys, do you see the same orc bouncer just kind of standing there, Trey? But it's just Felden and Trey right now. Maybe like 1 or 2 patrons, like dwarf probably drinking in the corner, talking to another dwarf, just kind of like talking, drinking. They kind of look like kind of simple clothing, kind of dirty. With any guests looking at their clothes and stuff like that, they're probably some of the miners.
Cletus is saying this, who's around, and he turns to the guys and just says, I think I'm just gonna walk around town for a little bit, just exploring. You guys chill here if you want.
All right.
Okay.
Karun will actually take a look at the quest board. If there's
Okay.
anything new.
After hearing Cletus say that, Daylock looks towards you. He says, "Did you want any company or anything, Sir Cletus?"
No, I think I'm good. I'll check in with you later, though, Daylock.
And he gives you a nod. And Daemon Ares actually like puts his gigantic hand on Daylock's shoulder. He's like, nah, you can come drink with me today. And Daylock kind of looks a little worried. And Daemon Ares basically guides him towards the bar.
Yeah. So wait, what do we got? Like, who's doing what right now?
Cletus is now walking out of the tavern, and Korn is about ready to fly over towards the job posting board.
I guess Connor would go with Corn, and then head to the bar afterwards.
Okay. You guys go over towards the board, and on it you see the same quest for the mayor posted there. And you guys see nothing else. It's completely empty. The quest of the fisherman is no longer there, and the other quests that were posted, there still is the missing farmers one as well.
Okay.
But no new ones have been posted.
Yeah.
And the other one, the hunting one, has been taken down as well.
Well,
That face.
yeah. Conway would just kind of take note of that and then head to the bar, I guess.
Seeing you guys over there, Felden actually speaks up. He says, there probably won't be any postings until after the festival.
That makes sense.
And he kind of looks at the bar, looks around the bar. He says, a lot of things are pretty much closed up today in preparations for tomorrow.
What kind of stuff's at the festival? I assume Conrad's at the bar at this point.
Yeah, you guys walk up. He says, oh, well, it changes every year, but usually they have certain contests, shows. It's usually in previous years, Sir Crump actually was the one to run and manage it. This year, apparently, Lord Ravon is not really thinking about it or planning it, and apparently Captain Welton is taking up the reins this year. Captain Welton came by a week or two ago and asked Lady Cat Mara, since she's the sponsor of the festival, for any suggestions and stuff like that, and they actually sat down and went over things. I'm not quite sure what they have, but I do know that Lady Cat Mara is, making sure that all of her employees get a chance to go over there. I know a few of them want to see what they have. But usually it's stores, stalls, shops, and a lot of traveling merchants. There's usually a little carnival set up with, different activities and events and entertainment.
Sounds like fun.
Usually the whole town is involved. Usually packed every year.
Conrad would order a drink then at this point.
Okay. It's gonna be why can't I think of it? I think it's 5 silver.
That was 2 silver.
So 2 silver.
Yeah.
I got a lot of prices floating around in my head.
No worries. I was about to say, like, damn, they must have jacked up the prices.
Oh, I mean, if you want a, bottle of wine, it's, 5 gold. 5 gold, but
yeah, no, they'll just take the 2 silver beer.
Now that will get the bottle of wine.
Okay. Anyone who wants to get drinks, go ahead and mark it off. 2 silver.
Booyah.
2 silver for the ale and 5 gold for the bottles of wine. Daemon Ares actually orders 5 bottles of wine.
Baller.
And he actually sits down and basically forces Daylock to sit next to him. And he, hesitantly, Daemon Ares gets 2 mugs and he just starts pouring the wine for him and Daylock and kind of forcing him to drink.
Chug, 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 chug.
Yeah, that goes chug, chug.
Not so much like that. It's more like he slides it over there and pats him on his back and he starts drinking his, locking eyes with Daylock to just see if he drinks too. And just from intimidation, actually, let me. Ooh. Okay, let me see his. Okay, yeah, Daylock starts drinking.
Gonna come back and there's just gonna be a drunk Daylock.
Yeah.
Oh
So
God, what does that look like?
you guys start drinking. And we'll pause on you guys for a moment.
Yep.
Cletus, where would you like to go? You guys just...
I'm just kind of meandering around, seeing if there's any pretty girls.
Okay. I mean, you walk around town, and there's, cute girl here and there. They seem to be all like going from place to place. A few of them are heading towards the haberdashery. A lot of them seem to be like finishing up with stuff around the market. They're grabbing last minute things. Again, like the streets aren't too busy today. Seems like a lot of people are just probably indoors or, just doing whatever to get ready for tomorrow's festival.
I'm going to approach one that doesn't look too busy and just say hello.
Okay, well, I would say, let me. Yeah, they all seem pretty busy, so you kind of have to walk along one.
Okay, that's fine.
And she looks over and she's like, "Oh, hi. Can I help you?"
Just admiring the beauty of the day and the beauty of yourself.
And she looks over at her friend and she's like, "Well, sorry, I'm married." And she covers her hand. Give me a charisma check.
Poor old Cletus.
Okay, well, she rolled a 19, so I thought about it. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll give him a chance." But no, she's like, "I'm married," and she covers her hand and like kind of speeds up the pace of walking.
Sorry to take up your time.
Oh, poor Cletus.
No luck. Cletus is just going to continue walking around.
Rip.
Not gonna approach anymore. Women.
Okay, I thought you were just gonna go around town just hitting on random women the whole time.
No.
Okay, I mean, you walk around town. How long did you want to continue to walk around? Like an hour or two?
5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you could loop this town like multiple times in that time.
Can I just go kind of outside the town and just walk around in the fields a little bit?
Sure.
I'll do that then.
Okay. You pass by one of the gates. They open up the gate, let you out. You just as soon as you exit town, you're met with the same sight as the other day when you left Latesse. Just wide open fields. You can see the docks way in the distance. It's very peaceful, good weather. Very serene look. With all the troubles that apparently are brewing in Elwes, it's very peaceful. It's, Lateste and, Elwes in general since you've been here. Besides, things trying to kill you, it's a beautiful place. The fields are very vibrant. It's a wonderful sight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just enjoying my walk, trying not straying too far from the test.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be gone for 5 hours.
Okay, you guys back in the tavern, do you guys just want to continue drinking today?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corin won't.
Go ahead.
Corin won't actually drink. Just maybe free water and play some music. Just some nice tunes.
Okay. Give me 2 performance checks.
Okay.
Which is, your skill performance music.
Yep.
Okay. You guys hear Corn play, and he starts off pretty strong, but by the second song, he's been playing for a while, so it dies down a little bit after a few hours. But it's a nice tune. Pretty upbeat. You guys are enjoying your guys' selves while you drink and stuff like that. After a few hours, you see Cletus come through the front door of the Squawking Box.
Hey,
don't know.
Cletus.
Can I tell how drunk they are by this point? If they're drunk.
At this point, you see Daylock just hunched over the bar, just passed out. And Jamesaries has stopped pouring, the bottles of wine in his mugs, and he's just drinking it right out of the bottle. I need everyone to give me 3 endurance checks.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Conrad, you're fucking piss drunk.
Hey, Cletus, what's up, man?
Nat, you're pretty buzzed. Damon's pretty, pretty loose too.
Nat says, look who it is!
Yeah, wait, did Cletus have no reaction to that at all?
No, I was waiting for the rest of the rolls.
Oh, they're done.
No. Corn not drink at all?
No, he said he was drinking water.
Oh, okay. I'm like, hey, buddy, how you doing? And
I'm doing well.
I go to Davis Rose. I'm like, Davis Rose, you might have overdoing a little bit with Doc here. It's a little worse for wear.
Oh, he'll be fine. I'll carry him up to his room later.
Nat...
It kind of looks like he needs to go there now. Maybe.
He's like, well, I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to wait for the room to stop spinning a little bit, but I'll take him up there in like 20 minutes.
I got him. No,
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Daylock up and take him up to his room.
Okay, give me a strength check. Okay. I mean, he's not too big, so you're able to like kind of show him, and he kind of stirs a little bit, and he's like, "Yes, Raylon, I'll do that right away." And he just kind of murmurs, a little bit of drool going down the side of his face.
As I head up, I asked, "Hey, Felden, what room is he in again?"
It's the one at the end of the hall.
Thank you.
You take him up there, and you get to the end of the hall. You open up the door, and it is a big room. A lot better than the room you have. Very nice carpet, tapestries on the sides, and it's a nice open room. There's a few beds in here. Very well done. 2 fireplaces on both sides of the room, and nice window on the edge. There's a nice desk and chair set right by the window.
Hey, set him down on the bed.
Okay. There is one of the beds that actually has the owl, just kind of perched on there. When you walk in the room, it like looks over and like whoo, and sees it. Almost goes to freak out, but then sees that you have Daylock and just kind of settles down.
Okay, I'll put him in the bed next to the owl.
Okay. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't want to do ceremony today." And like he's just like kind of grabs his blanket and like kind of like balls it up and like kind of cuddles it a little bit, and he just kind of
Oh my god!
goes to sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna take one of the blankets from the other bed and kind of tuck him in.
Okay, you do so.
And then I'm gonna go over to the owl and just kind of, you know how people like pet owls like under their chin? I want to do that.
Okay. Go give me a nature check. Okay. You go to reach out for the owl, and it bites you. You take 1 damage.
Okay. I'm gonna leave, close the door. I'm gonna go to my room and I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. I mean, are you gonna take a nap or are you gonna go to sleep? At this point,
take a nap.
Okay.
Wait, what time is it? It's like 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it's about 6 p.m.
Alright, I'm gonna take a 2-hour nap then.
Okay.
I was kind of tired when I woke up this morning.
Yeah. So you get your nap in. It's pretty comfy. You wake up and you head downstairs, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. You head your way downstairs. while Cletus took him up, for the rest of you guys in the bar, you guys see Cletus go up, and he doesn't come back down.
Huh.
Damasaris just kind of continues to drink. At this point, he's asking for dinner, and he pays the barkeep for dinner, and he gets a nice, like a pork chop dinner, nice
Yeah.
vegetables, potatoes on the side.
Conrad would ask for dinner as well as some water.
Okay.
Okay.
Water's free. It's gonna be 2 silver for the meal.
Gotcha.
Corin will get one too.
Does not know Damasaris' name at this point, or no?
You know Damasaris' name.
Great.
There's been a few people who've called his name in front of you.
Nat goes, hey Damasaris, I've been noticing you've been challenging people, but I've been waiting right here.
He gives you a big grin. He's like, "Oh, is that right?"
Oh no, you look pretty bad now, but you owe me one. I'll be waiting here.
I mean, we could go right now if you want.
Fight.
And he kind of like straightens up, like
Oh, no.
He pushes his meal forward and he cracks his knuckles. And given the size of this man, like it is almost like a light thunderclap when he cracks his knuckles.
I meant drinking, but I wouldn't mind fighting you either. She thinks about it.
And he's like, "Oh, we could do this right now if you want." And Felden actually speaks up. He's like, "Well, the ring isn't really up tonight. I mean, if you guys wanted to spar real quick, I wouldn't mind if you guys used it, but..." And he kind of like rubs his chin, and Damasaris reaches in his pouch, and he kind of hastily like just puts 2 gold on the counter and slides it towards Felden. He's like, "Don't worry, we'll take good care of it."
Oh, right. I guess I'm doing this.
I guess you are.
Yep. I'll put 2 gold. I'll put some gold down too for no reason.
Okay. Ignore everything else over here, but just for you guys got a good view of it. Cletus is not going to be there.
I came down. Or, well, this is while I'm napping.
At this point, you would have been napping.
Oh. Darn.
Crap.
I mean, unless you want to try to wait for Cletus to see the fight.
That's not the Damasaris.
I mean, I thought that was happening right now, so...
I mean, if you want Cletus to watch it, say something.
By the way, Comrade brought along his food and water just to see the fight.
As they're walking over,
Yeah,
Corin will,
sorry, go do your thing first.
Corin will try to cast pixie dust on Nat.
Why are you doing that?
Okay.
Cause you can fly in the battle that way.
Maybe I can reach his face.
Damasaris, honestly, I mean, did you whisper that?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what'd you roll? He's not.
40.
Oh yeah, he didn't hear you. Yeah, and he's not trying to, and he doesn't care. He's drunk and he gets to fight someone. So
Nat gives Corin Conrad the scarf again. Hold that.
Alright, he just kind of puts it on the table by his food.
Okay.
Don't lose it.
Damasaris steps up to the ring, and he just takes a few more chugs of his wine. He's like, he looks towards you, Nat. And he's like, there was a few females in our order, and we used to have to spar sometimes. And as a child, I used to fight my mother all the time, so I'm not going to hold back. And he kind of cracks his neck.
Yeah, I liked fighting my mother too.
With that, he smiles. He says, "Okay, let's do this. Go ahead and roll me initiative."
And that says, I won't lie, I mostly meant a drinking game, but I guess this is another good use of my time. Yep, roll initiative. Click my token. Oh, come on!
God.
As you're saying that, like, yeah, okay, I said a drinking game, but this is gonna do, and within, like, you don't even get that out, and he's already charging for you,
Oh,
like,
jeez!
yelling. And he moves forward, and he's going to do a bull rush. What's your AC?
13.
Okay, so he runs and like just hit a shoulder checks you, dealing 7 damage and pushes you. You almost fall out of the ring.
Conrad's just eating his pork chop, just watching this fight. Like, like.
Good job, Matt. Lowest guard.
Like that almost knocked the wind out of you. Like it was. And he's just sitting there, kind of smiling. He's like, "Bring it."
That's impressed. Alright, that goes for a punch.
Okay.
Try to punch, go for his face. Something. Maybe like a Soryoken.
I mean, you kind of would have to, Jim.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you pretty much have to jump up to hit him.
It's Soryoken. Alright, run up, Shark.
Okay. You go to punch, and he just puts up his arm, and it's like hitting a tree trunk, and he just blocks it. And with that, he kind of like looks at your fist and smiles, and he just rears up his fist, and he almost shines with like a radiant energy when he does it.
Wait, is he using magic or something?
And he misses.
Oh man, I thought he was using magic or something. I was about to say.
No, he kind of, there's just a glow about him. Like it kind of looks like almost like a light radiant shimmer off of his body right now. But he swings, and like he was a bit of a wind up, so you just kind of duck out of the way.
All right, I'm going for him again. Ah, dang it!
And you punch him right in the gut, and it's like you almost hurt your hand. Like you just punch him in the gut, and it's just like nothing. There's no give or nothing, and you're just looking up at this towering man, and he's just looking down at you, smiling. And he's gonna raise his fist again and bring it down on you.
Oh god! No, jeez!
Okay, and you also hold on a second. I gotta pull this up real quick.
Hey, Conrad, I bet 2 gold on emissaries.
I learned nothing to bet against that, so I'm just gonna stay out of that.
Damn.
Okay, you also take an additional 5 damage on top of that.
How so? Oh yeah, that makes sense. 14.
Well, he used one of his abilities. Okay, it's your turn.
Hope to hit him at least once. Better.
Okay, you punch, and he just again blocks it with his arm.
Oh!
And he's like hitting a tree trunk.
Ah.
And you actually kind of ding the side of his pauldron a little bit when he blocks it. Like your arm kind of scoots off of it.
How high is his AC? Am I even hitting at all?
You're not breaking through his AC. I tell you that much.
Crap.
And he's like, "That's not how you hit. This is how you hit." And he's going to. Let me double check this move to see if he can use it like that. Okay, yes, he can. Yeah, he's going to use his Mace Tail's Rage on you. You watch as he swells up in size.
Must be nice.
What's your AC?
13.
Okay, so yeah. He swells up in size.
Actually, I'm not bloody yet, am I?
Was that?
I'm not bloody, am I?
With this attack, you are bloodied.
Well, my bloody is 18, so I've already been bloodied.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I actually
so
get plus 2 to AC, so it actually doesn't hit. So my AC is now 15.
Oh yeah, because you're okay. So that attack, it falls. I mean, it just falls short. Like you just barely dodge out of the way. Like it just grazes you. Okay, your turn.
Gotta get at least one hit on him. Yes!
Minimum damage, great.
I think he can actually do something to stop that.
Every time!
Let me double
He's just gonna
check.
flex. That's what he's gonna do. You're gonna just flex at the moment of impact.
Yeah, you go to do that, and you see him like tense up before the attack, and he was prepared for it. So that again, you hit him, and it's just solid wall of muscle.
I got 20 that time!
Mm-hmm. He has this ability, so that's. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're the one who challenged him. You could have backed out.
At this point,
That's not how she works.
Conrad has finished his meal, wiped his face with a napkin and just sipping his water, watching.
I don't think you can use any of these without a weapon, so he'll just have to continue with arm strike after that. So he, leans back his fist again, and he just, goes to launch another attack at you.
Oh, come
on! And it digs in deep. Like, you are staggering at this point.
Is that +5 because of his strength?
No. It was
6.
just that one attack.
Ouch.
Okay, your turn.
If I can call it that.
Okay. This time you do land, and it does cause him to budge a little bit, but he doesn't seem hurt by it.
Barbarian abilities, probably.
Like the attack did land, but you're figuring that, because you've seen him in a rage before, and he kind of seems to soak damage in a rage. So you have a feeling like it didn't really do anything. Like he's just sitting there, he doesn't even seem fazed by it.
Crap.
Okay, and he's gonna wind up again and smiling this whole time, and it's kind of slow. Like he seems to be. It may have been slowed down. Maybe he feels bad for you or what, but like you just dodge right out of the way. You're like, whoo! Okay, you're up. Okay. That one he does like kind of reel back a little bit, and he kind of looks at you. He's like, "Oh, yeah, that's more like it."
That's what happens when you don't take me seriously.
He's like, "Now it's time for me to get serious."
Oh, come on.
And he's gonna roll, and he's gonna use his action point to
And action point.
Attack. You have an action point too.
Yeah.
The first attack, you kind of dodge out of the way, but when you dodge out of the way of the first strike, it kind of opens you up for a second attack, and he just buries his fist with the second one.
Yep.
And you guys see Nat. She is barely standing at this point. Like, there's blood kind of trickling out of her mouth a little bit. Like, she's kind of bruised up. The one punch on her face kind of, like, swelled up a little bit at this point.
She's still having fun.
She still has a smile on her face.
I
mean, at this point, she might look a little worried and scared, but like she's a little tipsy and she's still enjoying it.
Nat, she's all mad. She can do what no one can. Song of Courage.
Oh, you cast Song of Courage?
Yeah.
Okay.
+1 to damage rolls.
Okay. Oh, wait, let me look at this real quick, because that may also affect Demissaries.
Yeah, all frontiers. Both.
Yeah, so yeah, they both get it.
Like awful. Remember me how I was.
Nat, your turn.
All right.
I would say since you both, I mean, you did it to both of them, unless you want to Dane a Daemon Ares as an enemy.
Nah,
Okay.
just to rile them up a bit.
Okay. So you guys are both invigorated by, Korn's chanting. You go to hit him, and again, you're just hitting a solid wall of muscle. Like, it does nothing. Does that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay. And Daemon Ares is he's gonna look at you kind of like wavering a little bit. He's like, you sure you want to keep going?
Yes.
And as soon as you get yeah out, he's already like left his fist.
Oh, and that's a hit too.
And before you even get the word out, he just comes up and just gets you right on your chin. And you just boom, and you just look and you see the light on the top of the tavern for a second, and you just everything goes dark as you fall down.
Ouch.
Majestic word the moment net hits the floor.
Was that?
I'll cast Majestic word the moment net hits the floor.
Okay. She hits the floor, and you use your majestic word. Go ahead
So-
and
Both may spend a healing surge and gain 5 plus their healing surge value.
okay.
Sure.
Conrad would, as he's doing that, he's done with his meal, finishes water, walks on over with her scarf. Want your scarf back?
Yeah.
Kind of looking over.
After a few moments of being knocked out, you kind of like start opening up your eyes, and go ahead and spend your healing surge.
And she's like mincing from the pain, and
Yeah, you're
there's like a bit like worry,
It feels
but
like it feels like you were run over by a buffalo.
and then Natalie just says, just like Lele. she's getting nostalgia a bit.
Daemon Ares actually extends his arm and helps you up.
-1 surge. 14. 17. Okay. I take the scarf first, and then I take Daemon Ares' hand.
Okay. He helps you up.
As I say, that reminded me of home.
That I haven't had a girl fight me as feisty as you have in a while, but if you're gonna challenge a man my size, you may want to bulk up a little bit more.
Hey Conrad, I think this wasn't the first time today that Ned got pounded by a big man.
Did I hear that?
Roll stealth if you want to whisper it.
Yeah.
What's your passive perception, Nat?
Oh, it's probably sucky. Passive it's a passive sense, right?
Yeah, passive perception.
15.
You don't hear it.
Kyra would just say, "Don't judge, Corin," and he would just go back to his spot at the bar.
Yeah, Daemon Ares actually puts his arm around you, Nat, and he's like, let's get a drink.
Speaking my language.
Okay.
Ow!
You guys
As I
have
rub my face. Ow.
Yeah.
Ow, ow, ow.
I mean, even after Korn healed you up, like you're swelling up a little bit. I guess you're probably gonna need a good night's rest before you look good again.
Ned always looks good.
Not right now. You guys kind of like a poofy face, is real red, a little bit of light bruising. Like she kind of looks like a turnip. Okay, so you guys continue drinking. Do you guys want to do anything else for the evening?
Nah.
Okay. After like another hour or so, Cletus, you wake up.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on Daylock.
He's still passed out.
Okay, then I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay. You go downstairs and you see a very bruised and beaten up Nadalin just smiling, drinking with everyone else.
I ask, what happened?
Daemon Ares. That's all I'll say. Daemon Ares.
Why'd you say it like that?
Daemon Ares?
And he just looks right at you, Cletus. He's like, she wanted to fight.
Fair enough.
I originally meant for a drinking game. I originally meant for a challenge of drinking, but who am I to argue to a fighting challenge?
Well, you look like you can use a drink, and I will give Nat my bottle of wine.
Okay. As you guys are drinking and stuff like that, you guys eventually hear the door open, and you see Payne, you see Yulon, you see Tyriok, Patmera, and the rest of them start walking in, and they all look kind of serious, and Patmera looks over towards Trey and says, "Let's go." And he nods and he goes up the stairs.
Hey, everything all right?
Yulon pauses for a moment as she's going up the stairs and gives you like a gentle nod and just continues up the stairs.
Inside.
Go ahead, insight.
Nope.
I mean, you guess,
Seems alright.
he's been pretty straightforward with you so far. It's pretty obvious there is a bit of a serious air to them, but they go upstairs. And after a few moments, you guys hear a lighter footfall as you see Sin coming down the stairs, and he looks over, sees you guys, and just continues out the door. So, what would you guys like to do?
Cletus is gonna order a milk and a meal.
Okay, it's gonna be 2 silver.
I accepted Cletus's bottle of wine. She says thanks, and
Yeah, so basically what Conrad did during the whole fight thing, he kind of sobered up, got some water and food, and then now he went back to drinking.
Okay.
Corin actually has a question for the barkeeper.
Okay.
So, this one time we were here, there was a musician playing. Is there a way to sign up for playing here? Maybe make a little coin on the side?
Well, I mean, you'd have to discuss that with Lady Catmera.
Okay.
And he kind of looks towards the stairs and looks back towards you, and he says, I would say you might want to wait till after the festival.
Yeah, looks like it.
And after a little bit of more drinking, like at this point, it is like 8, 9 o'clock. Demosaries kind of slaps you on the back real quick, Nat, and he's like, you guys all have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna get some rest, so be bright and early for tomorrow's festival.
I tell him good night.
Night, emissaries.
He nods as he grabs the last bottle of wine that he hasn't finished, and he heads upstairs. Retcon. Sorry.
What?
He pays for a room for 2 weeks and then goes upstairs.
Okay.
good fight, Demosaries. Don't be surprised if I challenge you to one again sometime.
And he smiles. He's like, maybe next time you'll be able to hurt me. And he goes upstairs laughing.
Maybe next time you guys can wait so I can see it too.
Well, I'm not the one who decided to go up to his room the whole day.
Oh, by the
up there
way,
the whole day.
Whenever Majestic Worst gets off cooldown, I'll heal that up a bit, just so it doesn't scar.
Okay. After a few moments, you'll be able to do it again. So, you can use it until she's at full health. She still has a little bit of like red and bruising around her face, but the swelling's gone down quite a bit. Healing magic and potions, it does heal you, but enough damage it will leave scars, and there's still residual effects of Nat will be a little sore in the morning.
Yeah, just that it hurts a little bit less.
Yeah, it definitely helps out, and after you're healed up, Nat, every time you take a drink, it's not hurting your lip or anything anymore. That last little uppercut kind of hurts your lip and chin a little bit, but it's pretty good now. It's a little tender still. Okay. It's around like 8, 9 o'clock. It's pushing towards 9. Nat and Conrad, you guys are pretty drunk at this point. Conrad's a little bit more towards Buzz, but you know.
Cletus is just chilling out.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything for this evening, or you guys just want to run down the time until it's time for bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask them real fast if there was anything I missed while I was on my walk.
Not much. We pretty much just got, drunk the whole day.
Pretty much.
Sounds fun.
After like an hour or so, you guys see Sin come back in the bar, and he starts walking towards the stairs. He sees you guys, and he seems a little bit more chipper, just a little bit more. And he says, "Oh, hi." And
Hey, Sin.
Hey, Sin.
he nods.
Sin,
And
you want a drink?
he shakes his head. He's like, "No, I'm okay. I'll see you guys in the morning for the festival."
Alright, night, Betty.
And he goes up to his room.
Speaking of, Conrad says, "I'm probably hit the hay as well." Kind of gets out of his chair. All right. Later, guys.
Later, Conrad.
Try not to fight anyone else while I'm gone, Madeline.
She gets like a cat-like grin. No promises.
I mean, she's got me down here, so you never know.
Hey, I could fight Nat. I could fight Cletus.
You want to go a few rounds? We can.
And after saying that, Felden actually speaks up. He's like, "Well, I would actually ask you guys don't do that anymore since Trey is not here."
Alright, that works.
Yeah.
Because, if something got serious, I couldn't break you guys up. And he looks towards Cletus.
No offense. Yep.
It was no offense. That was more of a compliment of your big mofo.
Yeah.
And after a little bit, you guys do eventually see Trey come down. He looks towards Felden. He's like, "I'm going to hit the hay for a little bit. Lady Catmara wants to see you in the morning." And Felden nods to him, and you see Trey go in the back room, and he disappears. Anything else you guys want to do this evening?
Probably hit the hay early.
Okay. Yeah. It starts getting towards like 10 o'clock. You guys are, Nat and Corin, you guys are starting to get a little tired. You guys want to head to bed? You can.
Yeah.
Okay. Corin, you go to bed. Nat, what about you?
I'll take another bottle of wine.
Okay. It's going to be another 5 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And you get your bottle of wine.
Nice.
Are you going to
Just gonna-
continue drinking it?
Yes.
Okay, you got to give me another endurance check.
Okay. Dang it.
Okay. You get a few swigs into it, and you just kind of, you're tired from the fight, you're a little sore, and you just kind of get comfy and in that zone, and you just kind of pass out on the bar.
Just like last time.
Chris is just like, I guess I got another one.
And Felden actually smiles, and he's like, at least they have someone to watch after him.
Well, big strong guy. What else can I do? So I'm gonna pick up Nat and take her up to her room.
Okay, give me a strength check. Okay. I mean, she's not too big. You managed to get her up into her room.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go check on Daylock again.
He's passed the fuck out. He's actually thrown the blanket off the bed, and because you gotta remember, you put him in bed fully clothed, so he has like his robes and stuff like that. So, like, he just kind of threw everything off the bed, and like the owl just kind of looks at you when you enter the room, and that's about it. He's snoring really loudly.
Okay, I'm gonna put the pillows and cover back on the bed for him, tuck him in,
Okay, you do so.
and then I'm gonna go back downstairs and order a milk and just sip it. And
Okay.
thinking about my walk today and how much I enjoyed it.
Okay, that's gonna be 5 copper for just the milk.
Okay.
You finish your milk. You slowly down it over like the next hour. It's about 11 at this point.
I'm not really too tired since I took my nap, so I'm just gonna relax, chill.
Okay. A few hours go by. 12. You want to keep going?
Yes.
1. You want to keep going?
Yes.
2. You want to keep going?
Yes.
3. You want to keep going?
Yes.
Okay, you're starting to get tired at this point. 4.
I know. One more.
Okay, it's 5 in the morning.
Alright, I'm ready for bed.
You crazy.
Okay. Go ahead. You head up to bed. Everyone refill your health and everything like that. Make sure you're at full healing surges. Cletus, mark off one of your healing surges.
Okay.
And we will take a break right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Ouch, my face.
Yep. I know you're paid now, Moose, because I got my finger chomped.
And I know your pain because I just got punched by Demosaries.
Yes, yes you did.
It wasn't the fact that he won. It was the fact that he slightly taunted her afterwards.
That's all in good fun. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be back.
Okay. So who's all still here?
I'm here.
Just you?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that shopping took a lot longer than that day took a little bit longer than I thought it would. We may have to break up the festival into 2 parts.
For future sessions, just saying, actually, I'll wait till after stream.
Well, I mean, I'm not worried about it because there was a lot of good interaction between the party and a lot of, good RP and stuff like that. So I'm not upset about it or anything. It's just because I'm now at the crossroads of we got an hour left on this session. So I gotta once Face gets back, I gotta ask him if he's okay with going late today. Because if we had another hour, maybe we'd be able to do the festival.
Looks like Nat has another new mission in her life.
To beat Demosaries?
Possibly.
Metagaming, you did a total of 6 damage to him.
Considering his size, class, and other things, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's once he got into that rage, he was building up temporary HP, so like that one hit that, there was a little bit of give, like you literally did no damage to him.
Nah,
Yeah, his AC is 19.
Of course it is. That should have backed down, but nope.
He even gave you an out too. Like, he's like, "Are you sure?"
No, she was gonna finish it.
Well, Demosaries finished.
Yeah, Demosaries finished.
Hey, it was finished, so she stuck with it.
I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just waiting for
Cletus.
Face?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cletus likes staying up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. He also likes sitting on random girls on the street.
Just
Did you
to let
say
you know,
I
just to let
said
you know,
hitting on.
Oh.
T-Dog, for your lack of sleep, the next time you do that, you're gonna be at a more of a disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That's why I took a nap.
Yeah, well, I mean, even breaking it up and taking naps and stuff like that, realistically, like last night, because everyone woke up late, you were okay. But like another day like that, and you're gonna be at double exhaustion.
Okay. What's wrong with hitting with random ladies on the street?
And there's nothing wrong with it. You just have gotten kind of unlucky with it so far.
Very.
Very.
You could go to the third floor.
I know, yeah.
I could.
Kids pay for it like the rest of us.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised after how everyone looked this morning if, I don't know 100%, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cletus might be like, no, this seemed kind of worth it. Because they looked happy as fuck.
Yes, I know.
Oh, trust me, I got more interactions planned.
Oh, with Tyrion?
No, but more with people in general. But maybe. They don't know. The only ones who were quick to run out were Conrad and Corin.
I'm back.
Okay. Face, this is going to be determined by you since, your schedule is the one that we got to worry about.
Okay.
Today's events, I'm happy with all the results. There's a lot of good, interactions between the party members and, a lot of building and RP stuff, but it did go a lot longer than I first wanted it to. So, how the festival is going to go is I don't know if we have enough time, given how much time we have left on the stream, to finish it. So it's up to you whether you can go like another hour or so.
Probably not.
Okay. So what we'll probably do, we'll start here in a second. We'll probably introduce the festival part, and then see how far we get into the stream, and I'll just call a break, and we'll probably have to have a part 2 next week.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys all get to sleep. It's pretty good. Nat, you kind of gotta like, you like in the middle of the night, you kind of wake up and you're like, ooh, because you kind of like your bone was kind of pushing into your little sore spot, but you roll back over to sleep and continue snoozing. Let me see. In order, it would be Corin. You're the first one to wake up. You slept pretty damn good. It's still relatively early. I would say it's like 7 or 8 a.m. You wake up.
Probably head downstairs. Well, first look out of the window. What's going on right now?
There's a few people hustling and bustling. Let me see. I gotta pull up the order of which side of the building you are on, because I do not know that offhand. Where is that? There we go. You are on, okay. Third left, so you are facing the mountains. So, you open up your thing, and you do see a little, there's the large building. It's basically like a large apartment complex, sort of like a medieval apartment complex, and you do see a lot of people, like leaving. A lot of them are large family groups and stuff like that. They're all dressed. You see kids like jumping up and down, very happy, as they're moving past the squawking box. There's a bit more commotion on the streets this early than there was yesterday.
Okay.
And it's nice weather, nice sunny day.
Kern will wake up and head downstairs.
Okay.
Just see what's going on.
You go down there and you actually see you see Felden down there looking tired as all hell. You also see Sin down there. He's currently enjoying his breakfast.
Hey, Felden, what's wrong?
He looks at you and gives you like a half-ass smile. He's like, and he kind of pauses for a second. So, Lady Mara has been busy as of late, and she usually tends the bar, 24/7. So since she's not around, I've had to take up that mantle, and I do not have the stamina that woman has.
I think nobody has.
He smiles at that, gives a light chuckle. He's like, none that I've met.
Oh well, hopefully you can at least enjoy yourself a bit at the festival.
More likely I won't.
Sorry for you.
It's okay. I'm old enough. I've seen my share of festivals, so missing 1 year won't kill me.
Okay.
And he looks towards you. Breakfast?
Yeah, thanks.
He goes back and he's moving slower than you normally see him. He does look very tired and ragged, but he eventually brings out your breakfast and slides it over to you. And Sin's actually sitting at the bar this time.
So, going to the festival today?
Is that towards Sin?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I'll be heading out with you guys.
Cool. Didn't see much of you yesterday. Everything all right?
He kind of quiets a little bit. He's like, yeah, I had to take care of some things. I mean, we can discuss it later. I would rather not sully the, festival today.
Okay. If you're worried about anything, you can talk to us. We've been through the same stuff.
And he kind of smiles. He's like, oh. And, he's like, so you've had many gems just kind of liquefy and go inside your body?
Well, there was this one, but I think I wasn't completely there. Some weird liquid, I don't know.
He's going to roll insight on you. You're going to roll bluff.
No, this was just this kind of, like, he was drunk one time and some stuff.
Okay, diplomacy then? Yeah, diplomacy. Okay, he looks at you, he's like, yeah, I'm sure. He does not believe you.
Okay.
He may not get that you're talking about being drunk. He just probably feels like you're trying to, cheer him up and with a relatable story, and he just does not believe you.
Okay. I tried.
Okay. Next would be, let me see. Next would be, I think Conrad. Yeah, Conrad, you eventually stir awake. You got a little bit of a headache, but nothing a good breakfast and a little bit of water wouldn't fix.
And so Conrad just kind of get up, stretch a bit, get washed up, and then head downstairs when he's all ready.
Okay. You head down and you see Sin and Corn already down there, munching on their breakfast.
Sin. Yeah, morning Sin, morning Corn.
Hey.
Sin's like, he like lifts up his hand, but continues eating, and you actually see the familiar look over and kind of give like a big smile and almost like a weird wave, and then you see it like snap over, look right, and it's like talking in its weird language, and then talks back, then back and forth, like it's looking left and right as it's talking, and then Sin just like is like, will you quiet down?
And so Conrad would just kind of grab a seat at the bar and, ask for coffee, water, and breakfast.
Okay. you see a very tired Felden there, and he gives you a nod. And after a few moments, he comes back with your breakfast.
Seem like you could use some of this yourself, Feldman.
He gives a half-hearted smile. He's like, I've already gone through 4 pots.
Oh. Wow. They having you do long shifts or what?
Usually Lady Catmara takes care of the inn, but she's preoccupied at the time.
Oh, is it with the festival or something like that?
Yeah, and some other matters.
So just like kind of go back to eating his breakfast then.
Okay. Next would be Nat. You eventually stir yourself awake, and
Ow.
you've got kind of a pounding headache. You have a feeling that some water, some food, and a couple hours of being awake, you'll probably start feeling better.
She hopes so.
Yeah.
She gets her things and heads downstairs.
Okay. As you go to leave your room, you see Damasaries leaving his.
Oh, hey, big guy.
Hey! And he has a big old jovial smile. Like, you can tell that he's probably feeling the same way as you are, but because of his large stature and, kind of, metagaming, I mean, you wouldn't refer to it as this in game, but his barbarian nature, and he's probably used to taking, like, a beating, so this is probably, he's able to shake it off a little bit better than you.
Fair enough. I guess I go downstairs.
I mean, he goes down with you at the same time. You get down there and you see Conrad, Korn, and Sin sitting down there.
He says, "Hey guys,
Hey, feeling better?
getting there." So speaking of getting there, she gets up to the bar.
Damasaries sits down and, he gets his breakfast. Raylon looks towards, Felden looks towards you, Nat. Would you like breakfast as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. He goes and grabs breakfast. And even though you didn't ask for it, he sets down 2 very large pitchers of water.
Thank
And he
you.
says, "This is for the group. You guys," and he looks you guys over. He's like, "Yeah, it looks like you guys might need it."
Thank you, Feldman.
He smiles and nods. And,
chugging water, just pretty much chugging water and breakfast.
Okay. After a few moments, you guys see Daylock slowly stumbling and shuffling his way down. Like, he looks ragged. Like, he has one hand clutched to his holy symbol and one hand clutched to his forehead. And he's just, oh, Bahamut. Oh, Bahamut, as he just, slowly staggers up. Like, he has, one eye half open, he has his arm. He, stops clutching his head, reaches out for the bar, grasps the bar, grabs the stool and, slowly sets himself in it. And Damasaries sees this and just laughs his ass off. He's like, "Ah, there we go. How'd your evening go, princess?" And Daylock kind of gives a half smile. He's like, I would prefer if you didn't call me princess." And he smiles a little bit. And Raylon, Jesus, why do I keep doing that? Felden doesn't even ask and just goes and gets Damasaries Daylock breakfast and a large pitcher of water.
Nowlin says to Daylock, he said, you give it your best effort, and that's all anyone really needs around here."
He kind of smiles. He's like, "Thank you." He does seem a lot more cheered up than he did the last few days. And go ahead and roll me insight if anyone does.
Sure.
Wants to. Okay. It's pretty obvious to you. For the first few days that you guys traveled, he didn't really speak to any of you guys really individually. and really didn't address any of you guys by name or anything. But between yesterday and today, like he seems like he's could be forcibly, you're not quite sure, but he does seem to be kind of like trying to build camaraderie and get a little bit closer to you guys.
Ha!
Did you just laugh?
Yeah.
How dare you make fun of Daylock like that? He's trying.
I will say something off stream, but go on.
Okay. And after, I'll probably say like another. You guys probably finish your breakfast. Start getting a little bit awake. Probably like another hour into breakfast and waking up and gathering yourselves. Cletus, you finally wake up. At this point, the sun's kind of beaming in, and you can hear the hustle and bustle of town.
Okay, I'm just gonna head downstairs.
You're still pretty tired, but you have a feeling if you kept sleeping in that you probably missed a good portion of the day.
Yep. I'm gonna head downstairs.
Okay. You make your way downstairs and you see everyone sitting down there. Everyone's almost finished with breakfast. They're kind of slow going at it. Sin's already finished. He's just kind of sitting, waiting.
Ness says to Cleus, why are you tired?
Well, sometimes I like to stay up late, even if it's not good for me.
Damon Sirius looks over. He's like, "Yeah, you sure do like doing a lot of things without us, don't you?"
Private time is nice every once in a while. I mean, we were all together all the time for about, was it three days in a row?
A day. Literally a day.
That's all you could take out of a sound of a character. I kind of go like, well, okay. Spend your time how you will.
And that I will.
Okay. Do you sit at the bar?
Yes.
Okay. You sit down. Felton looks towards you. He's like, "Breakfast, sir."
Thank you, Felton. And now,
he was asking.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And I tell him that I want my room again for another night.
Okay. And as soon as you say that, Daylock actually speaks up and he's like, actually, could you get his room for a month? And he actually slides over a platinum piece.
Aww.
I tell him, well, thank you, Daylock. I guess that's I don't know if that's just because you like me or because I'm the one that brought you up to bed yesterday.
Oh, that was you, Cletus?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I got you and I got Moose.
Moose? Who's this Moose person?
Matt. Sorry.
You took me up to my room. She's like surprised by that. Now she's got.
I didn't peek.
I didn't say anything about peeking.
I know. I'm just making sure you know I did it.
Yeah, now it was strange that you passed out, or you remember the bar, and that was the last thing you remember, and then you woke up in your room.
And that now that I know that he carried me up there, I'm just like giving him a look now.
Okay, Felton gives Daylock the change back from the room, and you now have the room for the month.
Woo!
Now I think everyone's at 2 weeks or a month, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You guys munch through your breakfast. Cletus is the last one to finish. The bar is relatively empty today. I think the last few days, even come down in the morning, there was usually a few patrons, but today it is empty.
I tell everyone, I'm like, well, you guys are ready to head up to the festival then?
I am.
Sin looks up and he's like, yeah, let's head over to see what they got.
Not stretches and says, me too.
Like stretches and smiles. Yeah, let's go head over there see what they got.
We just head out the door.
Conrad follows.
Okay, so the group, you guys head out, and as soon as you guys, you guys leave the squawking box. I'm gonna pull this up just for a second. You guys are already on it. Never mind. You guys go through, and you guys have to go around that apartment building. As soon as you guys start leaving out the squawking box, you immediately see a lot of patrons or a lot of people are still leaving the condos and apartments and making their way all in the same general direction. Everyone's making their way towards this gate over here.
Conrad would say, I wonder what that's about. Is that where the festival is?
Probably.
Damasaries looks over and is like, yeah, probably. And you guys look at Sin, and Sin says something to his familiar. It's the same, weird speech that the familiar talks in. And then you see the familiar fly up, a good, almost 100 feet. And then the familiar comes back down and, talks to Sin. He's like, yeah, seems like everyone's gathering up out there.
I tell Sam, glad to see you joining us today.
Yeah, I had some things to take care of. We'll talk later about it. I don't want to sully the festival today.
You're all good. A man's entitled to his personal time. So let's head on over there.
Okay. You guys get towards the gate, and the gate, it's steadily open. There's a lot of people leaving. And as you guys make your way outside of the gate, this is your first time seeing it in the daylight, but you guys see this setup. And mind you, there's a lot more people around. It's just when I try to actually fill the map with people, it started to crash. So I had to delete a lot of them. But this is what you see.
Interesting.
Is it loaded for everyone?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's hundreds and hundreds of people walking around here. A lot of them are groups of families. You guys see kids all over the place. Immediately, as you get closer, you guys start hearing music and stuff like that. The crowds are, making a lot of noise. People are running back and forth. They're below. You guys see where the rocks are, or below the bottom part of the map? There are actually more stalls, but it's mostly the stalls from the stores from in town. I didn't add them because you guys shop, so I figured you guys didn't want to revisit the same stores. But there's more shops and stalls to the south end, but I'm basically going to go through everything. Basically, you guys see the carriages, you guys see horses. There's a whole bunch of tents and stuff set up right by that. You guys see where I'm pointing right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to use this instead. This should probably help. Boop.
Yes. Yep. That helps a lot.
So right there, basically what you're seeing are large solid wood poles that are basically they look like they're implanted in the ground and they're surrounded by hay. From there over to here, you guys see where I'm pointing?
Yep.
Okay. That is a large staging area with tables set up. It's nothing really going on right now. There, it's just they have tables set up on it. From here to there, you guys see a very large tent with a very large man standing in front of it in a jester outfit. From there to here, you guys see two tables set up, two long tables with chairs on either side. And over here is a large wood stage with a man in the center singing, and there's music coming from nowhere. you hear music, but you don't see where it's coming from. And he's joined by 4 ladies, 1 elf and 3 humans, and they're just singing, and a couple of them are dancing and stuff like that. Over here you see some rocks in a line. You're not quite sure what that is. And over here is a whole bunch of different vendors and tents. You're gonna have to investigate to see what's what, but some of them have people standing in front of them, like, yelling like, "Oh, come see this! Oh, you'll find this here."
Is this just stables?
Yeah,
Here?
it's basically just some hitching posts that some horses are set up to. And as you guys, exit town, you do see a man, like over here. Yep, hold on. Over here, and he's basically like passing out flyers to everyone as they're, come towards the festival area.
I'm gonna take one of the flyers and see what's on it.
Okay. You guys walk over, and it's a middle-aged human man. And he's like, "Oh, come on. Today, one day only, the Latest Summer Festival." And, he just keeps repeating it over and over and over again. And on the flyer, you basically get told... it lists off that the festival is right at the top. It says the Latest Summer Festival. Your hosts, Guntar. And underneath that, it says sponsored by, and it says Lady Katmera and Captain Welton. And underneath that, in the smaller print, it says approved by Lord Ravon. And underneath that, it starts listing off, like times and activities that they have for the day. Basically, in the morning, there are vendors that will be open. That will be open from morning all the way till evening. There are the magic show and show of wonderment in the main tent. There's also a fortune teller who will be around in the morning time. Noontime, there is a pie eating contest. It's a 5 gold entry. Afternoon is a climbing competition that is a 5 gold entry fee. Then there's arm wrestling, which is a 10 gold entry fee. Then a race, a foot race, which is a 5 gold entry fee, and this is to compete. In the evenings, there will be more shows of entertainers and a drinking contest. The drinking contest will also be 10 gold.
What were all the competitions?
Competitions in order are a pie eating contest at noon, then there's a climbing, then arm wrestling, then a race, and then in the evening there's a drinking contest.
Okay.
It says underneath all that the main tent is a 5 copper entry fee. It does not list a price on the fortune teller. And it basically says that if you want to participate in anything, to head over to the main stage and talk to Guntar for entry.
Okay.
And Daemissaries, he actually asks one of you guys to read what it says.
Conrad.
To him.
All right, okay, do it.
Okay, you guys read it to him, and as soon as he hears like the arm wrestling, he's like, "Oh, I know where I'm heading first." And he's like, "Anyone else want to join some of these competitions?"
I know I will. That says.
Coral will ask the guy that handed out the flyers real quick. So, the foot race and the climbing, I'm guessing I wouldn't be approved in those? Fluttering a bit with his wings.
He says, "Well, you can do it, any of them, but you just can't use your wings."
Oh, okay.
Cletus says he's interested in the climbing and the arm wrestling.
Sin actually speaks up. He says, I wouldn't mind entering the arm wrestling and the foot race.
I'll try for all of them, but I'll see where the day takes me.
And Daylock speaks up, so we should probably head over to the main stage to enter.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm just going to move the group in its entirety. Boop. 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 When you get over there, there's a couple people talking to a man over there. It is a half-elf with blonde hair, green eyes, wearing a... I couldn't find a matching thing, but he's wearing a bright orange suit, and he's basically taking money from people, and as they walk up, and he's smiling, very jovial. And as you guys walk up, he's like, guests to my wonderful festival. How may I assist you?
We were interested in signing up for some of the competitions.
Of course. What competitions would you guys be interested in?
Well, I'm interested in the climbing and the arm wrestling competition.
Okay, hold on a second. And go. I forgot to do this part. It's climbing. Arm wrestling. Okay, which competitions would you like?
The climbing and the arm wrestling.
Okay. He said that will be 15 gold for entry fees for the arm wrestling and climbing.
Alright, I give it to him. And do I also give him my copper for general admission?
Oh, he's like, no, that is actually for, and you pay that over there, and he points towards the large tent.
Okay.
And he says you pay it there on entry.
Okay, thank you.
Con will also go over there and say, I would like to sign up for the foot race and the climbing.
Okay.
$15 gold, or how much was it?
For the foot race is 5, and climbing is 5, so that's going to be 10 gold.
Okay.
And as you guys are, signing up and stuff like that, he says winners basically get to take home a pot. First and second place wins a prize. Third will get a consolation prize, but no gold.
Actually, I'm gonna join the arm wrestling as well.
Okay.
So another 10 gold off, right?
Yep, that's another 10 good gold. Sin signs up for the foot race and the arm wrestling. Damasaries signs up for the drinking. Whoa, I just did something crazy on my... Okay. Boop. The drinking. And... let me pull this up real quick. And he's also going to sign up for the foot race. And he kind of looks towards the rest of the group and he's like, I figured I'd give you guys a chance on the arm wrestling and climbing. He's kind of looking towards Cletus, kind of like smiling. He's kind of...
Cletus nods back.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of challenging you with this, like, yeah, I'm going to give you a chance to win arm wrestling, so I'm not going to sign up. Do you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
Gonna let it go.
Sin actually looks up, he's like, oh, what, you think you can't take me, big man? And Damon Sayers, like, kind of, like, kneels down a little bit towards Sin, he's like, that's the spirit. And he's like, I want to sign up for the arm wrestling as well. If anyone wants to roll insight to that, you can.
Yeah, sure.
You're not sure, Cletus. And Conrad, you guys are both just kind of like looking around at everything. You know, there's a lot of flashing lights and stuff like that.
Pretty colors.
Wait, I gotta double check. Was it? And Sin also signs up for the pie eating contest. See, that's
Cool.
5. And okay. Gotta mark off some gold. Corn, are you gonna be? Oh yeah, I already got Corn. Conrad.
Yeah, Kyra's not really interested in participating in any of the events.
Okay. And Mushi there.
Moose.
No, he just messaged me. They're having a birthday party today, so he had to go real quick to the cake. So
Oh.
I will just have him sign up for anything once he gets back. We'll say that he did or did not sign up for something.
Probably arm wrestling.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
She signed up for all the events actually, just because they asked her.
I can't spend someone's gold without permission.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
So I'll say, just for brevity, that you guys sign up for everything that you guys are interested in, and kind of looks. And Daylock does not sign up for anything.
I told him, come on, Daylock, sign up for something.
He kind of smiles and he's like, I've seen you all in action. I don't think I would be able to compete with any of you.
You might be able to do the foot race.
Because I'm not very fleet of foot.
Ah.
I bet you could take me in an arm wrestling competition. You won't be able to.
He smiles, but he's like, no. I think I'll just root you guys on for the side. You back, Luce?
Yes.
Okay, what competitions did you want to sign up for?
I tried for all of them. How much?
I told you.
Okay, that's gonna be 20.
Oh God, I can see the price.
You're gonna bankrupt yourself with this.
So that's gonna be 35 gold.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Woo! That says woo.
The man that you're paying the gold to, he's like, here we go. We have a future champion in the making.
Yes, the champion of the champion of the fest.
Clinton doesn't say this, but he's just thinking, a champion or someone that doesn't know how to control his money.
Unless he wins and wins a whole bunch of gold.
That's true.
It was never about the gold. Because I didn't know we were getting gold out of it.
And he says, good luck to all of you, and be sure to be at the event. We shall announce it when the events start, so just be sure to be arriving when they're announced, or you will lose out.
Thank you.
He nods towards all of you, and there's another group like right behind you getting ready to sign up for stuff. As you guys are walking away, he's like, oh, sorry, that competition is now full up. And, he has to tell them no to a few competitions. Yeah, you guys got the last slots. Literally got the last slots for a few of these.
Nice. You guys want to head over and pay our general admission now?
I'd like to visit the fortune teller.
I would too, actually.
Okay, again, there's no general admission. It's the green tent. They have, it's a closed-off tent, and you can pay to enter there, and they have stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you right on
No
that.
problem.
But yeah, I'd like to check out the fortune teller too, says Cletus.
I don't mind coming with. That says.
Sin actually speaks up. He's like, yeah, that seems interesting. And he's like, I actually used to know a seer at my academy who's pretty spot on. I wonder how good this person is. So you guys head over there?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. After asking around, you basically get pointing towards the largest tent in this group. And when you get there, there's a couple people in front of you, and basically, you see a big sign. It says 5 silver to get your fortune read, and no refunds. And there's a couple people in front of you, and it's kind of hard to see the lady with this line, but as you guys make your way towards there, you guys get towards the second person that's there, and you see this woman, and as she's reading the fortunes, she has a strange orb of magic that kind of casts, and she has a gem that's kind of like on her forehead, and every time she does a fortune, her hair flows, and this orb sparkles, and at the center of it, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a square in it. And when she pulls from it, she's pulling out cards and setting them on the table, and she's going over the person's fortune. After that person finishes, your group steps up, and you can fully see her now. Why is this not working? You see this woman.
Neat. Madame Mama.
And as you guys walk up, she's like, I am Madame Ma'am. I am a seer of your good fortunes and bad. I will look into your impending future, and I will tell you the fate of what you are looking for, 3 things to expect in your future, and how it will all end. 5 silver and no refunds. She says it really quick and very business-like.
Like those bold print things that on the end on the bottom of commercials that they try to read really fast.
I say, who wants to go first?
Conrad will volunteer to go first.
Okay.
Unless you want to go, buddy. I mean,
Thanks. Conrad
Okay.
will go first.
Let me try to set this up. Give me a second, because it's a new feature, and I'm trying to make sure that it works right. I'm also pouring myself a drink real quick.
This is the new feature.
Oh,
No,
yes.
drinking.
Okay.
Yes, the new feature is drinking.
Let's see if this works. Boom. You guys see something pop up?
Yep.
Tarot card, discard.
Okay,
Yes.
don't touch it. Okay.
Boop.
And who's first? Corin?
Corin, then Conrad.
Okay. Do you pay her the money?
Yep.
She takes it and she quickly snatches it from you, and she's like, let's see what's in your future. And she goes and she's like, so for the thing you are looking for, and she draws this card. Do you see it?
Wow, yeah.
You.
Well, hold on a second, recall. Already in there. Okay, that did not work. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. There we go. She draws this card. And she's like, the sword card. And she pauses for a second, and she's like, this card usually signifies betrayal. She says, well, maybe, she looks at you, maybe what you seek is not really what you want, and you may be betrayed by your own feelings. And she does it kind of whispering her hands around, kind of mystic-like.
Okay.
And she says, the 3 things I see in your future. And she pulls this card. Do you see it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It says, this represents the dragon. I mean, it could be taken literally, but... And she looks you up and down. She says, I doubt you're going to be visiting too many dragons in your future, so it could mean passion. You may have passion in your near future. She, again, like, waves her hands around all mystic-like. And then she's, draws the next card. This is also in your future. And she pulls this card. She pauses for a second and looks up at you and looks back down at the card and she says, this is the death card. She pauses. Like, maybe a loved one will pass away, maybe someone you know will die, or they usually signify some end of something. Or it could be literal death. But, and she looks at you again, but, you know, I doubt someone like you sees a lot of death. And then she pulls the next card. Also in your future, and she pauses for a second, and she says, oh, the destiny card, meaning that you will see a great destiny in your future. And then she says, and how it will all end. And she draws this card, and she says, she pauses, like, even longer. She's like, oh, the world. She says, that's a very rare card to draw for the end. She pauses and kind of, like, has to ponder to herself. She, like, starts waving her hands, and maybe it means that and she just kind of stutters a little bit, and she's like, maybe, in the end, you will be given everything you wanted in the world before you die. And she's like, and that is your future. And she pauses, and she's like, no refunds.
Okay.
She's like, next.
Conrad will go up.
Okay. You give her the 5 silver?
Yes, I do, and I'll mark it off right now.
Yeah, she snatches it from you real quickly. She's like, young tiefling. You seem like, and she looks you up and down, a worldly type. Let's see what you have in your future. The thing you are looking for most. And she draws a card. And as soon as she draws it, she pauses. She's like, huh. And she looks down at her deck. And mind you, when she did this, like, she shuffled the deck and everything afterwards. She's like, huh. That's, again, you may be betrayed by what you really want. Or you may be betrayed by the thing you are looking for. And she goes and draws the next card. And in your future... Nah, damn it broke again. Recall. Maybe, okay, I think I figured it out. Boop. I gotta shuffle it after it's done. Boop. Boop. And in your future, I see... And she pauses again, seeing the same card. She's like, huh. She looks up at you and looks at the group. Are you guys traveling together? And she kind of like... It's a quick pause from, like, her normal, like, mystic kind of, like, banter that she's trying to, like, you know, she's trying to put up, like, a mystical facade. Kind of, like, breaks from it. And she's like, are you guys traveling together?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
She pauses for a second. Okay, also I see in your future... And she doesn't even explain it. She's like, also in your future... Boop. Huh. And she just kind of sighs and she's like, looks towards her deck, like slaps it a couple times. She's like, don't you stop working on me now. And she whispers it, like, she's like, sorry, that, well, this is your future and it will all end with... And she lays that card out. She's like, the world? Why the world? She's like, well, this is your future. And, like, she's kind of doing it kind of half-assed and quick on this one. She didn't even wave her hands on the last 2 cards. Like, she just kind of dealt them. She was very, like, confused by the situation. She's like, no refunds.
Like Conrad will walk away like just kind of scoffs, like, okay, yeah, I wasted 5 silver. He doesn't say that out loud, but he has that look to him.
And she says, "Next person." Does anyone else want the guard?
After seeing that, Cletus is out. Cletus is like, nah.
And Sin walks up. He's like, "Yeah, I'll get my fortune." And she's like, "Ah, yes. Of course, you must have a different future. The thing that you are looking for." And as soon as she draws that card, she like starts slapping the deck. She's like, "This can't be. They can't all have the same fortune." She's not talking to you guys. She's talking to the deck. And like she's just like she's rubbing the gem on her forehead, and she's just like,
I
okay,
will roll for insight.
okay, go ahead.
Actually,
You don't
I
know.
want to.
Okay, anyone who wants to roll insight can.
Yeah, sure.
That shit's definitely real.
Yeah, Corn, you believe this. You believe every word of it. Same with you, Conrad. Same with you, Nat. Cletus, you see she is actually generally confused, but she does seem earnest that this is your fortune, that this is their fortune. She's just kind of weirded out that you got, the first two were exactly the same. And as she deals the first card with Sin, like she looks even more baffled. Like she's very confused why it's drawing the same card. And you guys did notice that when you guys walked up, the person in front of you guys, there was different cards than this. And it is a full-size deck of tarot cards. And she is shuffling it every single time. And she goes through and she doesn't even explain it. She just kind of starts going through the cards, and she's just looking very confused that in order, it's the betrayal card, the Nine of Swords, the Dragon, Death, Destiny, and the World. And she looks again confused by it. And she's like, "This is impossible." And she looks over and she's like, "You, sir." And she points toward Daylock and she says, "I'll do yours first. I'll do yours for free." And he's like, "I don't really believe in this, but sure." Seeing that you guys participated. He's trying to join the group. And she's like, okay. The thing you are seeking is, and she looks at it, a dragon? And he looks and she's like, "I'm not looking for a dragon." And she's like, "And the thing I see in your future is..." "Oh, death." And then she goes to draw another card, and I can't do it because I couldn't figure out how to do it. She draws a death card. And then she draws another death card.
Oh no, Daylock.
And then she draws the last card for his future, and it is a blank card.
Oh.
And she's looking very confused, and she kind of looks towards Daylock, almost kind of worried. And Daylock, laughs. He's like, "Yeah, you just must be a sham." And he kind of like walks back towards the back of the group. Anyone else want their fortune?
No.
No, it says no thank you.
She looks very weirded out, and as she finishes Daylock's fortune, she looks towards the group and she's like, "Who are you people?"
We are
people.
We're a group of adventurers trying to help out around here.
And she just, She looks back at the deck and she shuffles it again, and face up she starts going through it, and she's like, "Huh." She looks back at the group and she takes her sign and she flips it backwards, and it says "closed" on it. She just kind of eyeballs you guys as she like closed the front of her tent, and she's like literally staring at you guys like weirded out as she closed the front of the tent door. And like the rest of the people she looks over at and she's like, "We're closed for right now," and she closes the tent.
Well, that was weird.
Yep. You guys want to head down this way and check out the stalls?
Sure, I guess.
And real quick, just so you guys, for anyone who's taking notes, the order of those cards was the Nine of Swords, Betrayal, the Dragon, Death, Destiny, and the end was the World,
Nine of Swords,
which is the Betrayal card.
Betrayal.
Then it was Dragon,
Mhm.
Death,
Okay.
Destiny, and it would end in the World.
Okay.
Okay. And kind of looks at the group. That was weird.
Yeah. Was that kind of thing normal? Like he says the sin?
He said, I mean, I've seen real divination students do that before, and I mean, if she's legit, then it's going to be a legit response.
But like, she shuffles the deck, and three of us. Well, it was three of us, right? Who got the same fortune, except for Daylock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Three of us got the same fortune, and Daylock, he kind of just gives a passing look to Daylock. He got something different. Is that normal? Like
He says
Conrad says.
it's very rare that, I mean, because usually divination, it's you frame the divination for what you're looking for or what you're trying to look at, and then you draw the cards. He said it is weird that three of us would get the same exact fortune for all across the board. Because he kind of looks towards the group. He's like, I don't know what you guys are looking for, but it's weird that we all are betrayed by what we're looking for.
When he says that, Corwin visibly shrinks a little bit, looking like worried. He's not okay with this.
And after that, Daylock is like, it's rubbish. What does that woman know? She's probably just looking to steal people's money.
I agree with the Daylock.
I mean, Cletus, with that insight, you seemed like she was legit. Like she believed it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Daemon Ares, he kind of like puts his arm over on Cletus and Sin. He's like, don't let that worry you guys. I'm sure, you guys are probably right. We don't need to worry about that. Let's see what else they have. And Sin like nods his head, and Daylock speaks up. And he's like, well, where else would you guys like to go?
Just check out the stalls. Good. We can go down this way first. Check out what each of them has.
Okay. I'm basically gonna go in order, from top to bottom. Basically, the first one is like rare meats and treats and stuff like that. It's not so much like little samples or something like that. It's mostly like exotic stuff that's not from this land that they're selling like meats and stuff like that to people. The next one is drinks, like ales, wines, and stuff like that that are not native to this region. Third and the fourth one are basically like little like trinkets and stuff like that, like basically like little things from other lands. Obviously, the larger one was the fortune teller. The one next to that below is another drink stall. The one below that is, let me look at the list because I didn't memorize which one that one. Is basically another hunter. He looks like a hunter, and he has like pelts and stuff like that from different animals and stuff like that. Some of them are very exotic. The one below that is a lot of meats, fish, and stuff like that you can actually get cooked, and like it's basically a lunch stall. And the one below that is a man, and there's a whole bunch of weapons and armors around. And it's actually surrounded by 3 armed guards. They do not look like town guards. They look like almost like hired mercenaries.
Yeah. Cletus would like to go to one of the drink stands.
Okay.
Karn,
Okay. What were you gonna say, Gordon?
Karn will go over to the trinket stand.
As soon as you guys mentioned that, this guy kind of like guy in front of the drink tent nearest you, like as soon as you guys say drink, like he looks over, he's like, ah, yes, come over, we have the finest drinks in the land, and he's like, ah, like he's gesturing, gesturing you guys to come over.
I head over.
Okay. You guys head over, and it's various ales and stuff like that, and he has like very simple pitchers that seem almost like throwaway pitchers. Like he's selling the alcohol, and he's making the money off the booze, not the pitchers. So like it's really cheap, simple pitchers. And it's pretty much the same prices. He does have a few exotic drinks and some even cheaper drinks. He has basically grog for 5 copper. He has decent ale for 2 silver a pitcher, and he has bottles and different sizes of wines for 5 gold. And he actually has even more pricier wine that ranges from 10 up to 50 gold.
Nothing non-alcoholic.
Nope, not at this one.
Okay. Cletus isn't gonna get anything then.
Do you say it was 2 silver for a pitcher of ale?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than not pitcher, a tankard of ale.
Okay, I was about to say like for a pitcher, I'm like, damn, that's.
No, I was thinking squawking box again. Theirs is almost like pitcher size for each glass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess like Conrad's not too interested either.
Okay. I mean, you guys are, especially Conrad and Nat. You guys are still a little hungover, so the thought of booze really, I mean, you can if you want to, but it does kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nat says, I'm saving that for the drinking contest. The cafe's grin.
And Damus Aries agrees with Nat. He's like, yeah, I want to make sure I'm, ready for the, drinking contest. And Sin speaks up. She's like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to drink before I try to doing a foot race.
Alright. Cletus says, let's go. Can I see the first stand, right? Let's go check out the first stand.
Which one, the top or the bottom?
At the bottom.
You guys want to all head over there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Boop. I love that you guys are all grouped up, so I can just be like, boop. As soon as you guys approach the man in the center, he's like, come, we have the finest, and he looks over at your guys' group and seeing that, some of you guys are still wearing simple stuff, and we have the finest weapons and armor. He looks over, he's like, a lot of these are enchanted, so they are a little pricey, and there's another man being helped by one of the guards, one of the mercenaries. It's kind of like exchanging money and stuff like that. He's buying an axe, a pickaxe. It looks like he's a dwarf. It's a pickaxe with like runes inscribed on it. He's like, is there anything you guys are interested in or looking for?
I ask him, got any good armor?
He looks at you. He's like, we do. What are you looking for?
Something a little better quality, or a little better defense than what I got on.
He looks at your scale mail and he's like, we do have enchanted scale mail.
Ooh, interesting. Tell me more.
He's like, it's this piece right over here, and he gestures to a set of scale mail. You can go over and look at the price tag if you want.
I will.
You look at it, and it is 450 gold pieces.
Okay. I still want him to tell me about it.
This armor is enchanted to bolster your defenses and help protect you from harm. He's very grandiose about explaining things. I mean, you can do an Arcana check to maybe look at it.
Can I ask Sin to check this out, because I
was just about to say,
I've seen him.
You're not actually trained in Arcana, so you wouldn't be able to do this. Sin basically goes and looks at it. Du-du-du-du. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du. Okay, and I'm gonna translate what he says. Basically,
God.
he says it's a simple magic enchantment. Basically, it's a +1 set of armor.
Okay. Interested. I don't seem to have enough money for it right now.
And he kind of gives the merchant kind of gives like a very dark, sly smile. And he's like, "Ah, that's okay. You can roll insight if you want."
Mm.
And it's pretty obvious. You guys, I mean, besides Daylock and sort of Demissaries, and a little bit on Sin, like the rest of you guys are, like have battle worn armor. Even though Conrad just bought new clothes, they're very simple clothes. Nat has a shirt with patchworks in it. It's very dirty and ratty. Well, worn and ratty. Corn has very simple leather armor and stuff like that. It's you guys don't exude wealth and stuff like that. So he kind of understood. The merchant kind of sized you guys up before you arrived. That's why he's kind of half-assing his sales speech to you because he assumed you guys didn't have enough money for a lot of stuff.
Okay. I want to ask, hey, Demissaries, would I be able to borrow some money, please?
He looks at his coin purse and looks back at you. He's like, how much?
It was 450, right?
450.
And I go over to the merchant. I'm like, I'll make a deal with you. I will give you 400 gold pieces and my current scale mail for this enchanted scale mail.
Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy. No, hey, you literally have to have this guy roll a 1. No, he's like, well, I really would have no need for the armor you're wearing, and the price is 450.
Okay. And I
tell
Demis.
Yeah.
I asked Demissaries for 250 gold then.
Okay. And he looks over at you and he kind of pulls you to the side a little bit and he basically shows you his coin purse and he's like, well, how much is this? And he shows you his coin purse. And after a few moments of counting it, you gather that there's about 222 gold in here.
Ooh.
It's a little short of what I need.
By how much?
222. I need 12 more gold.
Okay. And Demissaries kind of looks, he's like, so you basically want to take all my money?
Yeah, seriously, dude, what the fuck?
He says, Cletus, you're our comrade in arms, but I do need to make my own way in life. I will protect you in battle, but I've only known you a few days.
Very fair point, Demissaries.
And he looks over and he kind of nudges you, trying to cheer you up a little bit. And he's like, plus, I mean, you've been doing great in battle.
True. Except those 2 times I fell unconscious. But alright. Thank you anyways, Demissaries.
And he kind of tries to cheer you up. He's like, don't worry, we'll get there, man. He's
maybe if I win that arm wrestling competition, I'll get it.
He's like, there you go. And Daylock is actually meandering around a few different things looking. He actually he's talking to one of the guards while you guys are discussing this. And you actually see him pick up something and he dishes out it's kind of hard to tell, but it's close to 50 platinum that he pays this man for something. And he turns around and he's like, so I just picked this up. If you guys wanted one.
What is it? Madeline asks.
And he holds out in his hand these black rings. They look like little almost earrings. If anyone wants to do a nature check.
Sure.
Nat, you go to
There we
look and
go.
you trip and you fall on the ground. You take 1 point of damage. Corin, Conrad, Cletus. You guys recognize this mineral or this stone because it's a carved stone. This is onyx. And if anyone wants to do an Arcana check, if you're trained in it.
Okay.
Can I, or am I still faithful to the ground?
Now, at this point, you've picked yourself up.
Yeah, okay. Ah.
Okay. Nat, you do see that they're inscribed with runes, but you're not quite sure what type of magic this is. Corin, you recognize this as, I think this is alteration type magic. I could be wrong about that. I may have to double check it. But basically, the runes inscribed on this are basically very similar to like sending stones and far speech and stuff like that. It's basically a communication magic. And, as you guys are inspecting it, Daylock says, if we wear these, we will be able to communicate to each other, even if we are separated. I know.
Nat says, are you gonna buy a pair for Raylon too?
He kind of like looks at his shoulder and he kind of nestles towards the owl. He's like, if I ever need to speak with Raylon, I have heard his, transfer our message, and I'm not quite sure exactly where Raylon is right now, and these and he like gestures toward the earrings. He says these only reach up to 1 mile.
They do sound nice to have.
Guys.
What?
My name. The obsidian ring.
It's onyx.
Onyx.
The onyx ring.
And he actually gestures out his hands, and there's one for each of you.
I will
I guess
take it
Conrad
and
would
put
take
it
it,
on.
yeah. Put it on.
Okay, and I will give you guys the information after the session.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the short of this is it's a earring. You just have to wear it in your ear. Those of you without piercings, you're gonna have to pierce your own ear.
Okay.
But while you wear it, it grants basically as it's in your ear, everyone who's wearing one, you can communicate to each other within 1 mile, and it's basically a silent communication. So it basically, when you hear someone speaking, the voice is kind of like in your head, so no one else around you will hear the receiving message, but you do have to talk, actual verbally to get the message to send.
Okay.
So if you guys if you are ever in a situation where you need to stealth it, you have to roll a stealth check to try to do it. And yeah.
Cool.
Madeline appreciates it.
Thanks.
We all done
And,
at the weapons.
What's that?
I was just checking that we're all done at the weapons stand.
Yep. And I mean, browsing through, it just seems very simple enchanted armors and weapons.
Okay.
Price tags are very similar.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, we will actually end the session right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead and end the stream.